Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Going Dark podcast. And Chop, we have a wonderful guest here today. This is episode 37. 37.
Has it been 37 episodes?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely 37. Yeah, that's not a number I made up or anything. But anyways, yeah, this is episode 37. Butters, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your time. And yeah, this is, I think we've had a lot more fun recently having different guests on, and the eagerness that people have to just join this podcast and just chat with Call of Duty, or talk about that with us has been really spectacular. And I think, the viewers and audience have really enjoyed it a lot. So I think this will be a very fun and productive discussion. Even before we started rolling the camos, we're like, we have to start rolling because we're going to talk about so much stuff before the recording even starts out. We just got to get it going.
I showed them something that I was going to save for the actual podcast because I couldn't help but show y'all the surprise. So pretend to be surprised again, okay?
Twitch acting will go crazy.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Butters, thank you for coming on. I literally tweeted you and you answered within like 30 minutes. And you're like, I'm so down for this. So
absolutely. I get to talk about Call of Duty.
Yes.
You kidding me?
So we'll be very brief in this. Can you give us your origin story? And then when did you find Call of Duty? And I guess maybe give me your favorite Call of Duty in the mix of that. Usually it's kind of people's first Call of Duty, but you go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, hi. Thank you guys so much for having me on the podcast. I'm stoked to be here. My name's Hannah Bryan, or NoisyButters. I play Call of Duty. My favorite Call of Duty of all time is Modern Warfare 2 2009. I started playing games before I could walk on the N64. I played it, you know how controllers usually hold them like this? I played it like a little keyboard because my hands are too small. But played mostly like Nintendo, Zelda, all of that. And then when I turned 14, it was around Christmas time, and my parents said, we're going to get you an Xbox 360. They went to GameStop, and they asked a wonderful little gentleman there, said, hey, we want to buy our daughter an Xbox 360, and we want to buy her Call of Duty. She wants to play Call of Duty. Which Call of Duty do we buy her? And this guy said, oh, you don't even know. Modern Warfare 2 is coming out. It's going to be the sickest game since Call of Duty 4. And he wasn't kidding. So thank you, random individual at GameStop, for educating my parents on which one to get me, because it's, yeah, really though. And that's been my favorite COD of all time. And here we are. God, that was 2009. So we're here 16 years later. No.
We're almost 20 years removed from that. That's crazy.
You can't say that.
You can't say that.
You can't say that.
That's crazy. Yo,
That's crazy.
In 4 years, the OG MW2 will be 20 years old.
Come on, dude.
I was curious, as you were telling that story, one of the things that I always either like to ask people or surmise from their story is like, I feel a lot of Call of Duty players that are still active in the scene now, including myself, a lot of us got started with Call of Duty, like not primarily like getting our own consoles, but usually like through a friend or a family member or a cousin, and so on. Like I got introduced, I didn't have my own game console for like a really long time. Like I was very late to the, just because my household and stuff is like, I didn't really get one until a long time. So I was introduced to Call of Duty like through a friend and cousins and stuff like that. But it seems like you got a 360 to yourself, and you're like, and they took you to GameStop and said, yo, Call of Duty's fire, play it.
Yep, pretty much.
Sick.
I will say my neighbors did have COD 4 on PlayStation, I think. And I got to play that a little bit when I was over there, and I thought, this is kind of fun. I was getting destroyed over and over. I probably figured out how to throw a grenade, but I thought, this would be kind of fun to get good at. This is fun. I like this. And then, obviously, I asked my parents, hey, can I get Call of Duty for Christmas? And here we are.
I got you.
I have one question about the N64. Did you play GoldenEye?
That is the one I'm so sad I did not play GoldenEye. No, my parents were very strict in the games that I was able to play. It was rated E, or it was not playing it at all.
So
I think it was rated T.
Call of Duty?
I was able to play, so I couldn't play rated T games until maybe I was like 7 or 8 years old. And then I was able to play rated M games when I was 14. So that was my first rated M game, actually. That was my first rated M game, MW2 2009.
That was is James Bond rated M, or is that teen?
It's M.
I was kind of
the same boat. We can bring up the
boat.
campaign mission.
I was in the same boat, and I had to play on paintball. Like my parents had to come down, turn on paintball mode of GoldenEye, and then they're like, now you can play. I'm like, yes. So
Yeah.
if
Oh
it
my
didn't have paintball
gosh.
mode, I would have not been able to play GoldenEye. Fun
Hey
fact
man,
for
did you play
everybody.
Advanced Warfare in paintball mode?
No,
Remember that?
luckily by then I was able to play games that I actually wanted to. My parents were looking over my shoulder, but paintball in James Bond I was playing. So luckily I got to
I
experience
didn't
it.
know.
Yeah, they had. So you
GoldenEye
probably
has-
could have gotten away with playing it.
I
Could've
didn't even
gotten
know
away
that
with
it had paintball mode. And actually, you know, it made me think of Advanced Warfare immediately because that was the one that I feel like it was very prevalent in. And has any other Call of Duty like since then had paintball mode, or is that just a thing that we don't see anymore? I mean, I can't really recall it. And
I
anything
feel like
modern.
did
Let's-
MW2 2022 have it? I feel like there was a recent COD that had a paintball mode.
I thought it was Sledgehammer.
Was it like a
Again.
setting, or was it like an
Maybe?
actual game mode?
I think it was
It was a
MW3. I thought with
Maybe.
a special event. I thought, and it was paintball. I could be wrong.
No, I think there's a setting. There's a setting for it's either Let's Go or paintball, but I'm pretty sure it's paintball.
Well, comments, y'all can fact check. That
Yes, please
one
do.
for us,
I'm
but,
actually curious about that
yeah,
one.
I'm curious myself, but that is crazy. Okay, so you were able to play Modern Warfare 2 as like your first primary game for your own console. So did you go back and play the old games retroactively? Like, did you go back to like World at War just to see, you know, what was going on beforehand?
I did. Actually, so for a hot minute when I got MW2, I was actually too scared to play online multiplayer games. So I spent a long time playing campaign, Spec Ops, going back on older CODs and playing those campaigns. I didn't play multiplayer until probably 2011, maybe late 2010. I'm not too sure. No, probably 2011. That makes sense. Because MW3, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I played mostly campaign and stuff, so I'm a campaign nerd.
Well,
Okay,
Yay.
so go ahead, Tyler.
No, I was gonna say it's kind of funny. That era of Call of Duty, the golden age of Call of Duty, I feel like a lot of people just played whatever game they wanted to, and it wasn't like so set on like I can't wait to get the next game. Like you definitely did that,
Right.
but like I remember going back when Black Ops 1 came out, or wait, was it MW3 came out? And I'm like, I don't mind this COD, but I loved Black Ops 1. And I just was playing Black Ops 1 for like half of MW3's year and didn't even care. Like it's funny how
Same.
that is.
Yep, absolutely. Same.
I don't know if y'all remember the drought of like Ghost and Advanced Warfare. I can't really speak for everybody, but I spent those 2 years mostly on Black Ops 2. Like,
Yeah.
I did play more AW admittedly than I played Ghost, but I spent like 2 whole years after BO2 still on BO2, as did like the majority of my friends. And I think that's kind of, we don't really have that as much anymore. It's like you're on the new COD or you're on like the actual classics, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm. What do you
I
think
mean-
contributes to people not going back and playing the older CODs? I think I know the answer, but
Backwards compatibility.
Go ahead.
okay, backwards compatibility. That definitely would be a factor, I would say, especially since a lot of people are on PC now. You definitely don't want to play older CODs on PC, that's for sure. Anyways,
Yep.
I was thinking a lot about what the heck is the term? Live service.
Yeah.
There we go. Live service has gotten so much more intense, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Even though I
so-
played
so- mhm.
go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like, and that's kind of maybe the reason that like I don't know if you guys think about it this way, but I feel like there's very two distinct eras of Call of Duty. You have like everything, you know, World at War, COD 4, all the way up to like Modern Warfare 2019, and that's like the breaking point where now we're in this new modern unified era. And everything as far as from the start of that newer era, I do think that it's more difficult to go back and play some of those older games as they don't feel like complete unified experiences in their own little thing. Whereas like Call of Duty's before that time were their own very individual experience that was quite different to some of the other ones, where it's like now Call of Duty is almost an amalgamation of itself. So there's less reason to go back and play games from only a few years ago, outside of a couple circumstances. Like I'm a big zombies player. I play a ton of zombies. And there are only certain maps you can play on certain games, so it kind of requires you to play those. But if you're just playing, I don't know, multiplayer, for example, then, I mean, you're either playing what's newest because the biggest player pool is likely there, or you're going like way back in time to some of the classics. And I do think it is primarily a result of live service and how content gets implemented. I think that's a good point.
I would say so, with especially battle passes and with Modern Warfare 2019 being what I would consider, I don't know about y'all, but I would consider that a pivotal game for the COD franchise. It basically flipped it on its head and introduced an
Sure.
entirely new audience, which is fantastic. Obviously, we want more people to play COD. But what is the reason for that? Was it the gameplay? Was it Warzone? Was it crossplay? What do y'all think it
Hmm.
was?
I think it has to be a combination of all those things. I do think Warzone is probably one of the biggest contributors. I actually want to ask you about crossplay because I have some thoughts on that. I think all of those things working together uh, solidified Call of Duty as this experience for newer gamers that were getting into video games, especially during COVID, and everything came together at the perfect time for Call
That
of Duty
game.
to like
Yeah.
enter a new chapter, you know. But I do think crossplay is a big part of that, and I've been thinking about that a lot, and especially in regards to um, the way that COD is balanced now. And again, this is my take. I've said this before. This shouldn't be shocking to anybody, but I kind of think that crossplay, insofar as it's console and PC together, has been a failure. I think crossplay with console is fine, like PS and Xbox, but I think when you introduce PC into that environment, it changes the dynamic entirely, and I don't think in a good way sometimes. So I I would actually personally like to see Call of Duty still continue to do crossplay, but only console and then PC in its own little thing. I think you can keep things more segregated and working functionally that way. I
Yeah.
don't know what you think about that.
I I absolutely see your point, and I didn't think about that till now. I played console Valorant before it got released, and I remember asking the question of crossplay, and they said absolutely no PC, no consoles playing together. It is only console crossplay. And at first, I was like, that's kind of interesting, but it also does kind of I don't want to say makes a skill gap, but the inputs are different. And the way you play COD
Yeah.
on KBAM versus playing it on controller versus, the field of view on console versus the FPS, there's a whole lot of like nuances and I could go all into the numbers and stuff, but it's gonna be a completely different experience depending on the platform that you're on. I play PC with controller,
Yeah.
but I still do get advantages with, the graphic settings, with the FOV. Like I could go on and on. So I absolutely see your point, and hmm,
Well,
now I'm curious.
I went back to MW19 and played it on Xbox, and that's the obviously the COD that didn't have FOV, but it had it on PC. That's a totally different, like almost different game. It felt like, you're
Absolutely.
stopping in every corner and like looking left and right to make sure you can cross. And I was very surprised because I feel like I'm just so used to the FOV now. But it feels weird. MW19 felt weird compared to even going back to like Black Ops 2. I feel like the FOVs, they're the same, but I don't know if MW19 the character model is just heavier or something like that. I couldn't figure it out, but I wanted to go back to your point about MW19, and you said all the like crossplay, and I think they hit a little nostalgia card too with Captain
Oh,
Price.
true.
Dude, that trailer. I mean, I'm a grown man, and I think I got chills during that trailer. Him smoking
Oh,
the cigar, and I'm like,
100%.
Call of Duty's back. I said that. That's what I said out loud. And as you all know, but
Your Twitter tagline.
It's the
I,
go-to.
I mean, at this point, people got to know I'm sarcastic with that. But anyway, yeah, I think nostalgia is another one that it was a good reboot, I felt like. And usually reboots don't go over very well. I think it had a little controversy in the beginning, but overall, I felt like it was pretty well liked.
I would think so too, especially campaign. Campaign, that's my favorite campaign in the entire franchise,
Is it
I
personally.
really? I was
love
actually
that
about to
campaign.
ask you that. Okay, so
Mhm.
walk me through that a little bit. I'm curious.
Yeah.
What is it about that campaign specifically that is like, okay, this crystallized as my favorite experience? Because I like MW19, and as far as like the whole rebooted Modern Warfare franchise so far, that is the strongest campaign in my opinion.
Okay.
I would say over the entire series, I would put it somewhere maybe in the middle, or
Okay.
maybe even upper middle, but nothing.
Sure.
I can't put it top tier. I'm curious, like walk me through like what is it about that campaign that's like that the it factor?
when I played Modern Warfare 2 2009, I really liked. I'm going to go back to 2019. But when I
Yeah,
played
sure.
2009, I loved the kind of superhero-esque. I mean, they had Eminem trailers and all of that. Like, it definitely had a vibe to the game that was fun, but also we're tackling, some heavy themes. And I feel like it wasn't. It could have been more intense, I guess. There was a little bit more fluff and a little bit more superhero than I wanted. Still loved it. Obviously, it's one of my top 3 campaigns, I would say. Loved it. However, Modern Warfare 2019 was just balls to the wall, no fluff. This is how much life sucks.
Yeah.
And I love that. I'm all about positivity and happiness. For those who don't know me, hi. I'm a very happy individual. I love my depressing stuff, and I want to feel existential. So MW 2019 really scratched that itch for me.
Okay. Go ahead, Tyler.
I was gonna say that's exactly how I feel about the Call of Duty campaigns. I've always been MW2 was a little overhyped. Listen, don't kill me in the comments. I thought it was a little overhyped, and I think COD 4 I liked it because it was more grounded. Even the campaign COD 4, I'm sure you played it by now, but like
I played it recently.
It feels like you're a part of a squad and you're working together, and that's what MW19 brought back of. Man, the clean house mission. I mean, you want to talk about special, where you're moving in on that house and you're in like, what's the bad guys in that game? I don't remember what they're called, but you're like sneaking up and you're chasing the guy. You're in that room with,
I think.
yeah, and like the baby sitting there and like the mother. It was just so grounded in realism, and I don't like the word realism in Call of Duty because people use that in the multiplayer side, and I'm like, no, I don't want it realism in that. I want realism in my campaign. So. MW19 is Chop, I think we did a thing for that a while back. I think I have it in like my top 3 or 4, which might be.
I think. You're right.
So yeah, I mean, I loved it.
It's good. I think it's good. I'm curious. I feel like it's a meme. I bring it up all the time. But I want to talk to you about, like, do you care for the Treyarch campaigns as much, or are you mostly interested in the Infinity Ward campaigns? And the way that
I love the Treyarch campaigans too. I do. I will say I play more the Infinity Ward ones and the Sledgehammer ones, but Black Ops 1 is one of my favorite campaigns. Black Ops 4 definitely is one of my favorite.
Oh, me too. There's so many good moments in that. Like, oh my god, they're so memorable. Like,
best campaign of all time,
there
right
it
here,
is.
guys.
There it is. Bro. Does it say it on the case anywhere that there is no campaign?
No, it does not. It says I got double XP at Walmart though. From Walmart.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
shout out Walmart,
that's
man.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah, it just says Blackout Zombies multiplayer on the back of the case.
Okay, so they didn't say like no campaign or anything. Okay.
No.
Interesting.
They just put a big
I mean, not that they
X
have
over
to,
thing.
but imagine campaign just X. It's like, guys, we gotta cut it.
Can we go to Black Ops 4 for a second? Did you like Blackout? I know Chopper, you had another question, or am I just going right at it?
No, go ahead. Well, I'll come
Did
back
you
to
like Blackout?
I played it a little bit, but
okay.
I'm, truth be told, not a battle royale person. Which is funny because I absolutely love Warzone. And I think JGod put it best by saying Warzone is a battle royale. No, it's a Call of Duty that just so happens to be a battle royale. While to me, Blackout feels like a battle royale.
Yeah.
Which I'm not into battle royale.
That's interesting.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, I don't know where I was at, and this is kind of sticking with the battle royale. I was probably watching one of your older videos, I think, recently. And I think it was, you know what it was? It popped up after I watched one of your recent ones. It was probably like from 5 years ago. It was when you went to Infinity Ward to play early, right?
Yeah,
and you were with Captain Price.
NW 2019?
Yeah, you met the Price actor and all that. Did you play Warzone in that?
Did I play what?
Did you play Warzone at that event?
Not at that event, but I did go to another event. I think it was in February. That was the Warzone one. So I did get to play Warzone early.
Okay. Yeah, that was.
I think. Or was it the event? No, I don't remember.
Yeah, because Warzone was March, right? Of 2020?
And I traveled in February to play it because I remember I got sick on the way back.
Yeah, those California trips, man, they are no joke.
Coming from a bunch of like Easterners or Midwesterners over here, guys, for the people listening, like when going out there is kind of a journey. So it's like
that flight,
it's
man.
A trek.
That flight, my feet are so jammed in the back of that seat, and I'm like, oh, I got 5 hours of this. We're in deep trouble.
Sweet. Yeah, it's not fun. It was worth it. Definitely worth it. Yeah. It was fun because when I flew out there, played COD, I flew back, and the next day it was a CDL event in Atlanta. So, and I was part of
Oh,
Atlanta Phase
cool.
at the time, so I got to go out and like do a 2v2 tournament with Pavage, and it was really fun. I had food poisoning though. It was horrible, but
Yeah.
it's fine. We didn't get knocked
But
out
it's
first round.
fine.
It's fine. We're here now.
That's so yeah. Okay, so we got to play Warzone at that event. Okay, one question before I get to the thing that I wanted to ask about Warzone. When you played it early, like I wasn't at that event. Did you have like an inkling of just how big it was going to be, or you're just like, oh, that's a cool little thing, or did you expect it to be as big as it became, or like what were your expectations of how that was going to land? Let's say.
I thought it's a battle royale. This isn't for me. We'll keep it moving. I'm sure people will enjoy it, and I think it'll be a
Sure.
fun little thing. And then here we
Oh
are.
yeah, fun
and
little Warzone, right?
Yeah.
And dude,
1
I
year.
decided to play it for myself, and I loved it. And I was so confused because I don't really like. So I'm not a very competitive gamer at all. So
Yeah.
to drop in and be like the last one to survive out of 100 people, like that just does not sound like a lot of fun to me.
Yeah.
But I played Warzone, and it was fun, and it threw me for a loop. I'm like, this is not how my brain's wired. What's going on? And I loved it, and I still do. I still love Warzone.
That's interesting. Wow.
Chop, I got the same question. What about like MW19? Did you leave? Because I remember hearing some rumors with MW19 when people were leaving. They're like, "Uh-oh, like we might be in deep doo-doo, Jaja." And or is it like, no, that was actually pretty. That was kind of fun. Like something's different about that.
I went into playing it. Well, before going to play it, I was at which event was it? It was in California. Oh no. Give me a second. It was an event in California. Gaming. It just got canceled. It's not around anymore.
E3.
E3.
Oh man, rest in
E3.
peace,
Shout out
E3,
E3.
please.
Rest in
How
peace,
could I
my
not
boy.
remember the name E3? I was at that E3, one of the last E3s. Rest in peace. But I got invited to see a campaign mission of Modern Warfare 2019. So I don't remember what month that was, that E3 was, but it was summertime for sure. I think it was July maybe. And so I got to see Clean House early. They took me into like a super dark room, and I got to watch it early. There was like a couple of little theater seats, and they had people be like, "This is our campaign mission. Just a warning, it's really realistic." So I went into the Modern Warfare 2019 multiplayer play session with the knowledge of how it already kind of looks and how it's already a bit more realistic.
Yeah.
Realistic. And I personally really liked it. But it was also my first event where I played a Call of Duty game early. So when the devs come up and are like, "What changes do you think should be made?" I'm like,
I love it.
I don't know. You make COD.
like
That's
video
really
game.
cool. Yeah, pretty much.
If I can
Pretty
butt
much.
in real quick, my first one was MW2, the new one. So
Really?
they asked me the same thing. I'm like, I love this game, and I'm like, this game's
it's
trash.
not even it's not even that like you're too scared to say anything. It's just like how do you say it? So then you kind of default. Yeah,
I was scared.
Yeah, I was scared too.
I was like, luckily Doug was Modern Warzone was there. That dude didn't give a crap what he was saying. He left that battle royale. He literally said, "That's the worst game I've ever played." And I said, I tipped the cap to that, man.
Oh, Warzone 2?
Yeah, when we played it, he was on the bus, and Shanice was like, "Hey, how'd you like it?" And he was like, "Worst game I've ever played." I'm like, "Holy, people are allowed to say that?" So if anybody ever calls him a shill, I always defend him because I'm like, that dude was not a shill on the bus.
I would definitely say not a shill for sure. But a worst game ever played, people should play like Duke Nukem Forever and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, worst Call of Duty ever. I mean, it's still on my worst games of all time, but yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's up there. I think I just got angry at that Call of Duty for like so many things. Like I felt like they just didn't build off MW19 the way they should have, because I really did enjoy MW19, and then I was like really looking forward to what they were going to do, and then it felt like everything that became fun and popular with MW19, they were trying to like nerf it, bunny hopping, and the way the guns felt
away,
like
no more fun.
Yeah, like bunny hopping with an MP5 was some of the most fun I've ever had in a Call of Duty, and they said, "Hey, bunny hopping's gone, and then you're going to shoot your Vaznev, and you're just going to see a puff of smoke." And I'm like, what?
MW2 is literally like a contrarian's Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
They every decision made that was like the community that the community latched onto and like, this is ours. They went, okay, no more of that. Back to our game. That's what MW2 was. I wanted to ask you. I want to go back to campaigns for a second because one of my favorite ones. I don't know. It's not definitely not my favorite campaign, but I think it's the most interesting. Do you have any thoughts on Black Ops 3's campaign?
I haven't played it yet. I do know
That's why I was
Train Go
like-
Boom.
I mean,
Yo, this is my
That's all I know.
MW2, bro.
Got it.
Um,
I haven't played it personally. I have a
Mhm.
general idea of what happens in it, but I want to play it.
Do you like know the twist of that campaign or anything?
I think I do, but I'm not gonna say anything in case I'm
Mhm.
wrong and or spoil it for myself.
Okay. Well, I think you should play Black Ops 3's campaign again whenever you got some time. It is like
Mhm.
it's definitely flawed. It's rough. Like, Jason Blundell was on a podcast like a couple months ago and he was talking about the development of BO3 and he pretty much said that like yeah, nothing was working when we were trying to make this game and I'm sure they had different ideas for what the BO3 campaign was supposed to be, but they had to put something out in like 9 months. So Jason was like, "We just went and tried something insane." And I think from what I know, he's really proud of that one. The fact that he got something so unhinged in a Call of Duty game. Like that
Right.
campaign is wild when you like know what's going on. It's very people remember the Train Go Boom stuff and it doesn't really make a lot of sense when you play it the first time around, but it's like there's a whole other layer to it that's like, oh my god. This is either really cool or it's really stupid.
Got
So
it.
I recommend giving it another try if you're into that like kind of thing. Especially very curious twist like that. It's definitely the
Would you
most
say
interesting one to
it's
talk about.
is it mind bendy?
Oh, for sure. Like,
Okay.
that's their whole
that's
thing, right?
that's
It's like
the
It's fair,
perfect
right, yeah,
that's the perfect wording I would say for it, to be honest.
Okay.
it's
Got it.
almost
Got it.
too much. Like,
Got
BO1 is
it.
mind bending enough where it's like, all right, if you're paying, I always describe it like this: BO1, you can play the campaign, and if you're paying enough attention, all the pieces are there for everything to click together, right? BO2 is not quite as twisted, but with the multiple endings, it can sort of be convoluted. BO3 is like you'll play it once, and no matter how much you're paying attention, really, it's not going to make any sense. You have
Got
to
it.
you have to dig deeper again for everything to click. And there will be a moment when it does, but it won't make sense the first time you play it. And that's how it is. But when it does click, it's
Interesting.
one of the most like satisfying moments. It's so cool. And if you said like you like your depressing stuff, it's not a bad one for that. Like
Okay.
it might
Yay.
do it. Anyways, I loved talking about the BO3 campaign. I think I don't know why I've become like obsessed with it. It's not even like my favorite, but it's fun to talk about.
Can I put you
It's
on this?
different.
Can I put you on the spot? Top 5 campaigns.
For me
For
or for
me?
him?
No, Butters.
Okay.
That might be 2 on the spot. Maybe top 3.
No. No. MW 2019. MW2 2009. Um. Ooh. COD 4.
Love
World at
COD
War.
4. World at War's great.
Right
Yes.
now, Black Ops 6.
Whoa. Okay, we can talk about
let's
this.
dive into
Wow,
this.
Wow. All right. I'm cracking I'm getting a beverage real quick.
Crack your Red Bull. Let's get after this here.
Let me have a sip of my water. I feel like
Wow.
Can I ask my first question, Chop?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you like the open worldness of is that maybe something that you tend to like over dislike? Because I'm kind of in that camp of like I like more linear. So I think that was kind of my head of, I don't know if I like this where we're headed, but
Sure. Well, here's what I'll say before we go any further in this discussion. When it comes to gameplay and in the context of Black Ops 6, I said this in my review and I stand by it. I think the Black Ops 6 campaign has the best gameplay of any campaign we've had so far. I will stand on that. Just pure gameplay. It has the best gameplay of any campaign. Like I'll die on that hill. My problem with that campaign is like I think that at this point it is an imitation of Black Ops. Like it feels like it feels like a campaign that's being made to try to imitate Black Ops without really understanding why and what made Black Ops work initially. It's like wearing the skin of the Black Ops IP, but it doesn't have the core of what Black Ops was to me as a brand really is the spirit of like pushing the boundaries and as much as BO6 is good from a gameplay standpoint, and there's some good story stuff, I don't feel like it's boundary pushing. That's my critique of that. That's my criticism of BO6. But I'm curious, for you to tell us what is about BO6 that at least cracks your top 5.
I think it's so interesting that you mentioned that it kind of feels like it's wearing the skin of a pass COD, when I think it's just like a neighbor to the pass COD. Like I think it belongs on the same street, and I think it's cohesive, and I think it makes sense. But I think it is also its own standalone thing. I think it has its own structure and its own architecture that makes it stand out. For example, Emergence. I mean, that's one of my favorite campaign missions ever. And also, I'm from Kentucky, so it was based in. Wait, we'll talk about it after the podcast. I'm not going to be like, where are you from?
My family's from Kentucky. My family's from
Really?
Kentucky. Yeah, my dad and my grandparents. I'll tell them because I'm in the Harlan, Kentucky area.
Okay.
Of the Justified show. That's where I'm at. Little on the poorer side, I'll be honest, but nicest people in the world.
I'm fascinated right now. How on earth do we have 3 COD people in here, and we're all 3 somehow attached to Kentucky?
I love Kentucky.
Well,
That's
I have
weird.
this idea that all these people from the Midwest who go to COD events are there because there's nothing to do in the Midwest, and so we all just got really good at video games.
It's true.
So, yeah. Anyways.
I forget what I was saying. Kentucky is a place that I was born. Emergence. I think that mission's one of my favorite missions in the entire COD franchise, and it's not realistic. It doesn't it kind of feels like a mishmash of a bunch of different gameplay assets. Like obviously we got different zombies. We've got I forget the name of all of them. We have the Mangler. We have
like the amalgam. The
yes,
Mangler,
yeah. Which
the disciple, the mimic.
Yes. Those I forget the names of them. Thank you. I liked the addition of all of those, and it also paid homage to past CODs by including like 115 and including soundtracks like that. I think Black Ops 6, that mission for me, I could replay that one over and over, and I could not get sick of it. And it felt like a BioShock game, which BioShock's my favorite game of all time. So I love a mission where you drop in, you have no idea what's happening, the world is weird, you're uncovering it as you go, and you have to find audio diaries or notes to figure out what is going on. I'm obsessed with that mission.
I like
the more I
that
talk
too.
about it. Yeah,
or like in the open world mission, like Tyler, I know I understand you're not a big fan of the open combat levels, as MW3s were really poorly done in my opinion. But the ones in BO6 were like, it was only one mission to be fair, and the thing that I'm sure Butters knows is that if you're like doing the little side areas, you might find these crates, and in the crate there's like a little audio recording of like these scientists running these experiments on some guy, and it's like, something's going on here, and then it starts to kind of get you thinking. And I really like all of that stuff in the BO6 campaign. That stuff is great.
I think they did that open mission well, for sure.
Yeah,
with the audio
me too.
And
it's
everything.
It's the best like open combat mission because like the gameplay's interesting, and there's some like interesting story threads that start to get unraveled there.
But even that one, I feel like that was semi-linear still. Like you had to go to the blue room, and then the yellow room, and then the red room. Like it wasn't that one. What was the one mission where you're in like the sandy area and you're just like,
is that the one we're talking about? The same one?
Wait, is
Are you talking about the one where you drive? Where you drive around?
Wait, is that Emergence?
No, that's the
zombie one.
That's the zombies one.
Okay. That one I think they did that one great. The other one where you're driving and you're looking for the things
I'm
to
talking
blow.
about that one.
That is just like, well, I don't. That to me just doesn't feel like Call of Duty. That's why I kind of like. But Emergence, I totally agree.
Fair.
I think that was cool. I like the idea of trying that. But yeah, go ahead, Chop.
I think one of my other issues. No, I actually love that open world mission from what they do with like introducing these threads that you can follow. I guess one of my other big critiques of the BO6 campaign is that I didn't find any of the newer characters particularly memorable. And a lot of them didn't really have much to do, in my opinion. Like I think Frank Woods, I hate to say it, but like writing wise is so not what Frank Woods would say. And we had James Burns on our podcast, and I was asking him about like what he thinks about the new like Woods direction, and he's like, honestly, man, he's like, that's just not how Woods would talk. And I'm like, I feel like I can kind of feel that. And it's not that they butchered Woods necessarily, but it just doesn't seem like what Frank Woods in the original games, how he would be speaking and stuff. It's different.
Can I say something controversial?
Go for
Please
it. By all
do.
means.
I've never liked Frank Woods.
Wow, yo, that's crazy.
I've never liked his character. Sorry.
Really?
I've never felt any attachment to him. I like his design, But I
Sure.
feel like he's the kind of character that just is put into the campaign just to curse and be like the wily one.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's only
Interesting.
one line that he said that made me laugh, and I don't know if I
Is it
can
the one
bring
I'm
it up.
thinking of?
Is it the onion one?
Is it? No, it's the BO6 one. At the I don't want to spoil anything. They roll a character up in tied up in a chair. And this
I'm trying to
character,
remember what you're talking
there's
about.
The girl?
it's kind of near the end. Yes, it's near the end of the campaign. She's tied up in the chair to talk to everybody. She gets rolled.
I don't know what she said. I don't know what he said.
I
Do
don't
you
know what line
remember?
this is.
You don't know?
Are
I'm
you
running
trying
through
to
the scene
think?
in my head, and I'm like, yo, what could this be? I'm
I
trying to
feel
like.
so bad laughing at this. I'm crying. Okay. So Frank Woods is in a wheelchair, as you know, and she rolls up and she goes, "I'm outnumbered 5.5 to 1."
Oh no.
And he goes, "Just give me a freaking reason." And I lost my mind. I thought it
See-
was so funny.
And I don't think that would be something that he would say. Like that doesn't feel like Frank Woods.
That doesn't
in my
feel like
opinion.
I feel
Frank
like
Woods, yeah.
he would just get it done, right? He wouldn't
he
say
would just
anything. I
do
feel like
it.
he would just jump in and be like,
yeah.
"You
Yeah.
want to tussle? Let's do it." But like for some reason, that line killed me. It was so
Him
funny.
being in BO6 too with the wheelchair. Nothing against wheelchair stuff. I'm just saying, like, he doesn't feel as like threatening. You're
Well,
like,
mhm.
you're like, why
Well,
are you here? Like, you should just retire. Get on out of here. Like,
the whole thing
we're good.
with BO2
You're done.
is like
Yeah,
where
you're
you see
done.
him first in the whole thing with like BO2 when you see him in the wheelchair. I thought that was I was all right with that because that was like a
There's a
plot device
purpose.
of why you're trying to wonder how did he get in this wheelchair, right? That's like a plot device to help tell the story where it's like now he's just like wheelchair grandpa because that's what happened in Black Ops. It's like it doesn't really serve a purpose to the BO6 story necessarily. It's just he's in a wheelchair because that's what happened in the other game. One thing I wanted to pick your brain about is one of my thing with campaigns recently and why I feel like I tend towards preferring some of the older campaigns, not even just Black Ops, but even some of the MW stuff. I feel like some of the best moments in campaigns are when you are personally interacting with it or doing the thing. So, for example, one of the things I hated about the MW3 campaign was the ending like cutscene. When
Yeah.
Price comes in and kills Shepard, and I'm like, if this was made in like 2009. It'd be a small playable level. We'd walk in, you'd be controlling it, you'd shoot him, blah blah blah. It's like I don't I kind of wish that they would stop doing like the formula of mission long ass cinematic, mission long cinematic. Like I kind of would prefer them to do moments that keep you in the perspective of the player and make like you doing the things. It's more interactive. I always bring up that one moment in the BO2 campaign where you're playing as Mason and you like get out with Frank Woods and you're walking to that guy's backyard and you can hear him like arguing with his wife and stuff and you're like walking back there and you go in a shed. I'm like, that would just be a cutscene if that was made now.
Yeah.
But I like when they make it part of the gameplay. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I'm curious if you prefer
100%.
the cinematics or the gameplay stuff.
I think cinematics can be fun if they're used sparingly, but it has
Mhm.
gotten to a point where half the campaign is cinematics, and I want to play a campaign.
Yeah.
Why would you make me hate a character so much like Shepard throughout the MW3 campaign, and then like we finally get the chance to finish him off, but we have to just sit back and watch as the player. Like to
Yeah.
me,
And we
not
don't even watch.
satisfying.
It happens off screen.
It's
Like-
so true. I do like the thud. I like the sound design of it. Whoever's doing the sound design of these campaigns, especially on Sledgehammer, like round of applause.
Sure.
I am love it. Absolutely love it. It tells its own story in my opinion. But yeah, too many cinematics. Yeah. I agree with you on that.
Can I?
And go ahead, Tyler.
I was gonna say, are you going campaigns too? I want to just bring into another side note. I don't know if it'll be a side note or not.
Last thing I was
Yeah,
just
go
gonna
ahead.
say. Last thing I was gonna say about campaigns is like I definitely have a bias towards Treyarch campaigns. I love the way those the way that those stories are told. And the thing that I guess I didn't prefer about Black Ops 6, and I'm a little concerned with about BO7, is like they're not even really Treyarch campaigns anymore, right? Like Raven's making these, and it's like again, fair enough, but that's why I kind of feel like it's a Skinwalker Black Ops because it's like it's not even the studio that made that IP is not now a different studio is making the IP of Black Ops when it wasn't really
Mhm.
their thing, so it's just a different way of doing it. And we can talk about this later. This is another big thing I want to talk about after Tyler, but I was like, I feel like at this point, with their current configuration, it's almost time, I think, for them to drop Black Ops as an IP and retire that, and then Raven find like their own thing to do. You know, like
It's time.
My question was
time.
literally, do you think it's time to move on from Modern Warfare and Black Ops?
There you go.
It's time. I think it is. We need a new cast of characters to become attached to, and like, don't get me wrong, I love Price, I love Soap, I'm the biggest Soap fangirl. But we need to kind of leave their legacy in a good state, I think, and not drag it out so much, in my opinion. I'm sure they could write them great into future campaigns, but as of right now, I like where they are. And or if we do another Modern Warfare campaign, can we please fix what we did with Soap? Please.
Just act like MW3 didn't even exist.
Dude, it's funny because I don't want to spoil anything, but how do you not spoil this?
He's going.
You don't.
I know.
It wasn't Soap who died. It was his doppelganger, Shampoo. It wasn't Soap. It was not his ashes in the urn. Okay?
I'm down to retcon that entire campaign and just act like it didn't happen.
Yep, I felt nothing when he died. He is my favorite character in the entire COD franchise, and I felt not a thing. Not a thing. I was like, that was dumb.
So where MW3 your least favorite campaign? Would you?
Oh,
would you say
100%.
that?
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yep.
Me too.
Yep.
Not
And
even
I
close.
don't want to be too severe. There were some cool aspects to it. I like the moral decision you have to make on the mission where it's Stadium, where it's like, do you help these people while they're reviving somebody? No, it could be a trap sort of thing. Like, no, we need your help doing that. And like, it puts you at a very good like standstill as the player. I love those kind of missions, and I want to have more of that. This one felt very pieced together, and I'm sure there were things that were going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Yep.
And I think my go-to when it comes to MW3's campaign is I would love to see the roadmap, because there were some windy roads, and I just want to see how we traversed it.
Good point.
Where do you see the game? Like, where would you want to see it go? If we cut Black Ops, we cut Modern Warfare. What's like the era you like? Do you want to go future? You want to go back to World War II? Modern but a different crew? Like, where do you your
Do we
dream
want
list
jetpacks
or whatever?
back?
I would love jetpacks, man.
Yeah, personally, the first thing that I'm jumping to is gameplay wise. I would love to see jetpacks again. I kind of miss it. Though I did like the grapple in Black Ops 6, and I wish that was a thing in Warzone. I think that would be a very fun what the heck is the word?
So that was in Black Ops 4. That was Blackout. It had a grapple.
Right. It did have a grapple, which I thought was cool, and that was one of my favorite things about Blackout. But you can only use it 5 times, I think.
Yeah, but
it's
you
a
could
limited
stack
number
it. You
or
could
something.
stack it and get like 20.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, you just had to have multiple of them.
that's kind of cool. I wish
But,
I had that in Warzone though.
So
I think it'd be fun.
jetpacks multiplayer wise, what about like is that a futuristic Call of Duty then for you?
I think that would default to futuristic.
Yeah.
I would think. Yeah,
It
unless like
seems
an
weird
alternate
for them
universe.
to not take advantage of the futuristic setting with BO7 and do jetpacks. I mean, allegedly, the streets are saying
Mhm.
there's no jetpacks in this next game. Do you think it's kind of a missed opportunity, given that like this is the first game in the future and like forever? Do you think that they should do jetpacks in BO7?
So as a player and as somebody who's grown up with COD, I would love to see jetpacks. However, I'm not a game developer. I don't see the numbers. I am not, doing a survey of the entirety of the player base, like who wants jetpacks or not. I think a lot of people are going to say no. I think we have campaigned hard enough for boots on the ground, especially back in which game was it after? Was it Advanced Warfare? What was the whole
After-
campaign about? Like, hey, it's boots on the ground. Like they made it
Oh,
a
World War
huge
II.
thing.
World War II. They
World War II,
hyped
that's
that.
right.
Entire
Their whole
marketing was get the
That's
boys
the
back together.
entire marketing. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I wish we maybe marketed a bit about the campaign on that one.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's a game based on World War II and not that it's just boots on the ground. I'm glad it was boots on the ground. I what goes up must come down. I think a nice balance would be nice in the COD franchise. We've just been boots on the ground for long enough. I'm ready to ascend again.
So do you think, Tyler, do you think it's like us as, like COD pilled echo chamber, like hardcore players that were the guys that want jetpacks? And so we talk to people that are playing Call of Duty all the time and everybody's like, yeah, of course I want jetpacks back. But if you ask like your buddy down the street who plays 2 hours a week, if he wants jetpacks, he's probably going to say no. Like, do you think that's reasonable? Like,
If I'm being honest, probably a little bit of that, yeah. But I don't know about you guys, Butters, but Black Ops 3, I just always tell people that did it the best, because I know there's a lot of my buddies that wasn't a big fan of jetpacks, but you could play BO3 for 98% of it on boots on the ground if you wanted to. And then you could also hop around casually. So I always tell people I thought Black Ops 3 nailed it. And that would be the style of jetpack. I think AW is definitely too much nowadays.
Agreed. Agreed.
So
the no jetpack mode in that game, and that's a good example because, like, yeah, you can play BO3 primarily, not using your advanced movement, and I think that's just a core of good game design where it's like they tried to do that thing in AW where it was no exo movements, but the maps played horrific. Like, is clearly the game was not made for that, but BO3 was kind of made to be able to like engage in this mechanic if you want to, but you don't have to. I think if they were going to do advanced movement, it should be like incentivized. If you want to get really good at the game, yeah, you can use this system, but you could play boots on the ground the whole time if you wanted to, and and still enjoy it. It's a difficult thing to design, I'm sure, but that's what I would like to see. That would be best case scenario, I feel like.
I didn't even think about how you could play BO3 multiplayer and not even use the jetpacks. I didn't think about that, and thinking about all the maps, the only thing I'd miss out on is the redwood little path that you take.
That thing that goes on the side around the trees. Yeah.
Yep. But even then, like, are you missing out that much? I mean, maybe that thing is pretty cool. But yeah, like cool. Just boots on the ground, BO3. God, that's a weird thing to say. God.
Well, you remember 402 Thunder? Do you ever watch his stuff? I love that guy, man. He kind of retired.
Back in the day, yeah.
But he used to play BO3. He would literally jump like one time a game, and I'm like, wow, good for him.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I guess you could do that, and like you said, that is a great example of a good core gameplay design. Like, it really is. So that's interesting. I'd love to see BO7 do that.
Would you? What would be your 3 in order of the jetpack games? Like 1, 2, 3.
BO3, Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare.
Really?
Based that good list. Good list.
Thank you.
Yeah, I liked AW.
What do you disagree with, Tyler?
I liked AW instead of IW personally.
Sure. I think it's fair. I like IW because it's similar to BO3. I just liked BO3 movement that much it
was more refined, right? I mean, we even had, we had a Sledgehammer dev on a couple of weeks ago, Greg Reisdorf, and he like basically invented the movement system in AW. And even he was like, yeah, the version we had was a little like unrefined, and they actually had a more refined version of that movement system for AW, but like it was already time to ship the game, so they weren't able to implement that in. But it's like, sure, it's the most primitive take on that kind of system, but I really think that BO3 and IW made it a lot more nuanced, and I personally greatly prefer those. I think AW's fun as well. I'll give you that. It's a very fun game, but from a control perspective, those other 2 movement systems, I think, like, really do it for me.
I'm in full agreement. AW was great. It was a little zippy, but as for it being the first jetpack COD, they did a really good job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we could go into a little bit of Black Ops 7 if you wanted to, like what we're expecting and like, because the last couple episodes with me and Chop, we've kind of spitballed on what we were looking for and what we think can kind of turn the franchise around. I don't know if you watched the video that I did where I kind of had like a serious talk with Call of Duty, and I gave
the one that went viral.
Sure, I'll take it. But like it was like six things that I felt like Black Ops 7 needed to do. And we can go into some of them, but I mean, in your opinion, where do you feel like the state of Call of Duty is right now?
I think it's in a decent place right now. I know that, like we said before, as COD people who are online, we're in very much so of an echo chamber, and especially a very negative echo chamber. I think COD gamers tend to latch on to things that are very negative. So I forget where I was going with this point, but I like where it's at. Decently. Yeah. Decently. It could be better, but it's not the end of the world that I think a lot of people
It also could be a lot worse. That's the thing I think we always have to keep in mind is like,
it's so true. And I tend to go back to, and I don't want to be mean, I tend to go back to Warzone 2. Like I said, I'm not a developer, so I don't know the numbers. I don't know what happened on the back end, all of that. I know that they were developing mostly for DMZ. I totally get it. The extraction shooters, very popular in Call of Duty. Love to see them trying something new. Just implementing that movement into everything, including Warzone and multiplayer, just like it soured it for me. I didn't play Warzone for a year and a half, 2 years, you know?
I
But
I
so
was
when I
almost
think of
doing
like,
fitness content during that time. I was like, I
right,
am all
right,
over the place. It
right, in
was,
regards to,
phew.
yeah, yeah, I forget what I was gonna say. I'm just thinking back. It could be worse. I think of Warzone 2. Sorry if you're a dev on Warzone
I
2.
think
I
it's really
salute you.
funny. I think it's really funny, and sometimes we get a glimpse of it when we have guests on here. But every single COD creator that's been in the game for at least 5 years, if not more, like everyone has their like their dark ages, right? And you know, for you guys, it was MW2 or it was Warzone 2. And I think that's really fun. Like, I'm not really a Warzone guy. I mostly do zombies. And so, like, the dark ages for me were Black Ops 4
They
and
were
Vanguard.
everything for a while for y'all. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
yeah. Listen, I've been in the trenches for a while. You know, and with BO6, that's the thing. I'm like, yeah, it could be way worse. BO6 zombies is actually pretty good. Like, obviously, nothing's perfect, and I would personally do some things differently. But comparatively to where we've been in years past, at certain points, BO6 is not doing too bad for itself at all. And I'm actually like fairly content with the state of the game, zombies wise, for in most aspects. Like everybody's had their little dark ages moment where you know, you're just checked out and doing something else. And yeah, it's interesting to hear you guys talk about that being Warzone 2. It wasn't really, you know, it wasn't a dark age for me, but I know what that feels like.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, you have no choice as a zombies player.
well,
Yeah.
so Butters, in terms of like, in terms of what you say, it could be better. What would you say is like your top? Like realistically, now if we go to, if there's an event and we go to it for BO7, what would be your feedback? I know we haven't played the game. Nobody's played the game, I don't think, but like, what would you say in terms, no gameplay wise, like in terms of just like the scope? Like my number one thing is like keeping it bound realistic to the to the theme, at least
the
for a
time
couple
period of the
months.
game.
Like give me 3 months of like skins and stuff like that where I feel like I'm in it. Like what would you say would be one where you're like, all right, we could maybe do a little better job of this one?
I think you nailed it. I think the word I'm looking for is identity.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
When it comes to especially Call of Duty events, I've been going to them since 2017, 2018. And I can remember year by year what the COD was, just based on like the vibe and how like, you know, Cold War was very much so focused on the 80s, which was so much fun, the aesthetic and everything. Black Ops 6, I don't know what the identity is right now.
Me neither.
So
I don't think
I'm
they know.
lost. Yeah, I go to COD events and I don't know what the vibe is. So I'm like, we're here to play COD, rootin' tootin' shooting, but like there's nothing like that screams
Did you
Black
go
Ops
to the
6.
BO6 early events? Were you there for
Yes,
those?
I
Okay,
think.
so
Yes.
there was
Yes.
an event. I don't know if you were there for. You may have been. I don't recall if you were there or not. But there was a like we were, you know, in like a thing with the devs, and they pull up the big thing on the theater screen, and they're like, "Our big goal this year is like identity." And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" When I see that, I'm like, "That's great." But then I'm like, "Look where we're in BO6 now." I'm like, "What happened to that?" And I remember asking devs about it, and I was like, you know, I just out of curiosity, like, I think it's important for a lot of your audience here that the game at least has or maintains some kind of identity throughout its life cycle. And they're like, yeah, no, listen, we totally get what you're saying. And then I remember them saying, but we know people like crazy stuff. And I was like, oh, that's just a bad omen, I think, for the future. But it's like I think they're at least aware because they made a whole board of like identity is our big goal. And I'm like, more of that, please. I would love
Mhm.
that.
I want to see
Um,
some Adlers running around at, you know, COD events. Like I go to
sure.
Halo events and I see Spartans running around, which is freaking amazing. I feel very submerged in a Halo event. It's fun.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
wish we had more of that for Call of Duty stuff. And even if we were to have a Black Ops 6 COD event, what's going to show up there?
I have a question. Do you
American
think
Dad.
that yeah, Beavis and Butthead dude are gonna pull
Yeah,
up,
they're
man?
gonna have
It's like
Beavis and Butthead cosplays in the next event coming up.
god!
EWC is gonna be
screams Call
cosplay.
of Duty, obviously,
You get
right?
your free roll of TP right when you walk in if you get a VIP ticket.
Jeez Louise, could you imagine?
That's
I
crazy.
could. That's the
Yeah, actually,
best.
you're
It's not
right.
even that
I probably
crazy.
shouldn't say "Can you imagine" because it might happen. But
Yeah, I wish there was more identity. I think is the word.
So I have a question then. Do you think,
Mm.
because I've suspected this for a while, and this is how I felt for a long time, do you think that one of the reasons that COD struggles in the identity department is partly a result of all of the different studios working together to make Call of Duty now, right? Right. It's like, that's what I was talking about with BO7. It's a Raven campaign. Allegedly, Sledgehammer's helping with some of the multiplayer. Treyarch's obviously making zombies, but all these, cooks in the kitchen and everybody's making this big thing. Versus like IW was locked in making an IW thing back in like MW, the original MW2. Like Treyarch was making their thing in BO1. They're very different. They're in their lanes. Do you think that is maybe one of the reasons that the identity situation has a problem, is because once you have all of these people making this big product, like it kind of just becomes gray, and at a certain point, like nobody's singular vision shines through,
Mhm. I think yes and no. I'm gonna say gameplay wise, definitely kind of mixes it up and makes it into that kind of gray
Sure.
area. Like what is the end goal of this certain COD? Like, is it fast movement? Is it this? Is it realism? And I think a lot of things get lost in translation, especially going from COD to COD to COD. But studio wise, I think the identity has more ability to stick, because when I don't know about y'all, but when I think of Treyarch, I think of Frank Woods, I think of Mason, I think of Hudson, I think of Adler, love Adler. I think of very specific characters. Infinity Ward, I think Price, I think Soap, I think Ghost, I think all of them. In regards to identity like that, I think those are pretty attached to the studios. And I think even having other studios jump in to help with that, I still think there is a vision that is still being seen.
Sure.
But I think when it comes to the gameplay, I think is where that kind of gray area comes in and gets kind of jumbled up.
I would agree, and it also doesn't help like the whole move to like the COD proprietary engine thing, where it's like
Yeah.
even the actual feel of the gameplay, you could feel the difference between a Treyarch title and an MW title, just of how the game feels to interact with, and
Mhm.
now they're kind of the same. So it's like that
Yep.
was I would personally love for them to go back to their own like individual engines. I understand that's a pain in the ass like development wise, but it is also what helped make them feel more distinct. So
Fully agree.
it's got positives and negatives to it, because I'm sure they could make more content more easily on their unified engine, but you do lose the individuality in the process.
Mhm. I have a question for y'all, and
Yeah.
to kind of divert onto a different subject. What are y'all's opinions on Black Ops Cold War's multiplayer?
Go ahead, Tyler. Take it away.
Okay. In 2020, I didn't like it.
Okay.
Because I loved the way MW19 felt.
Mhm.
And so when Cold War came out, I was kind of a little bit stunned, where it was like, this feels way too different. But now that I've been in these, MW2, MW3, Black Ops 6, you go back to Cold War and it's a really good multiplayer. So it's changed over time. I would say I like it now. Back in 2020, there is just something special about MW19 to me. I don't know what is going on. I always talk about this because I know you can rip that game a new one however you kind of want to. But man, I loved playing that game. I don't know what my problem was, or if I had
Not
a
a
problem or not.
problem.
It just was
Not a
fun.
problem
It
at
was
all.
fun to me. So when
You're like, why do I enjoy
well,
this game?
because I know the stigma around MW19. No red dots on the mini map, loud footsteps, dead silence as a perk. The maps were pretty bad. But I felt like the movement and mechanics and using the ground, the MP5 and the MP7, the Car 98, and I'm like, we are feeling so good right now. And I think they kind of like, that stuff was that was so good that the other stuff was like, it's still great because of it.
Mhm.
That kind of answered your question. I would say good now, didn't like it back then. Sorry.
Okay. I think it's a fair point. Trout, what do you think?
So Cold War is like kind of interesting for me, because I think it actually was the last Treyarch to be on like their old engine before they moved to the new one. So in a way, I still can really appreciate the fact that it has that like distinct Treyarch feel. And that's something. And also, I will say, like, I prefer the slightly more arcadey look and feel to COD multiplayer. Like, I tend to prefer the Black Ops multiplayer from the perspective of the art direction and whatnot. I do like Infinity Ward multiplayers. A little bit of a tilt towards realism is nice now and again. Although I feel like my fix for realistic shooters, I prefer, I used to play a lot of PUBG. That was one of my favorite games for a long time. And when it comes to realistic shooters, like was where I'd want to go. And so I can appreciate when COD does it, but in general, I prefer the arcadey feel. So I feel like Cold War really encapsulated that. My only real critique of Cold War's multiplayer, because it might be a top 5 for me, um, out of everything. My only real critique is I hate the kill streak system. That like
Gotcha.
non-resetting, like
Mhm.
the rolling. I did not like the streak system at all. It was like you kill somebody, then you get this multiplier, and then you're like doing math in your head to try to, it just wasn't very intuitive. I get why they did it. And I appreciate the experimentation, but I just did not prefer that streak system at all. And I think it would have uh, gone over much better with a more traditional system. I love the Black Ops
Mhm.
6 kill streak system. I really like it, and
Yep.
I would love to have that in Cold War. But all around, I thought that was a very solid Treyarch multiplayer.
Okay.
What do you think?
I
Are you?
I I asked people this question, and
Mhm.
most people say that they liked it. And it's not that I disliked it; it's that it disliked me. And I asked people, "Did we play the same game?" Not because, like, okay, don't get me wrong, I'm not the best at the game. I know, it's fine. It was the COD that I went from mostly console to PC.
Mhm.
So I went from Xbox to PC with an Xbox controller. I don't know
Oh man,
what it
that's a
is with
big
that
jump.
game. The problem for me was I would shoot my gun, but the bullets would around everybody, and then I would die in horrific ways and matchmaking issues. And I don't know if it's because I had the Xbox controller on PC, but it killed it for me. And
Mm.
I need to go back and play it again.
Yeah.
But at the time, and I know that it was a really hard time for game development overall. I mean, COVID. I have no idea how they pushed out Black Ops Cold War. Like, honestly, round of
Yeah.
applause for them, because that is so impressive. Especially a game that I look back fondly on in regards to identity. However, playing the multiplayer, the dark matter grind, you couldn't pay me to do it again.
That was purgatory.
I don't know how you do that. Like
Purgatory.
I don't know if you remember this. I like DM'd you during Black Ops
You
6 and
did!
I was like, "Hey, how's like the grind? Like is it something I should consider?" And you're like, "Yeah, but just kind of do it at your own pace." I I think I tried one video and I said, "Lord have mercy, there ain't no
That's
way
it.
I'm doing this. There ain't no way."
What
So,
did you not like about it?
I I this may sound old fashioned, but I just missed the headshot thing. Like
Sure.
I miss getting the camos by just playing kind of naturally and aiming for the head when you had the opportunity. And over time, you would get them just because you played the game. And I felt like I keep going back to my video because that was everything that I was passionate about. But it felt like Black Ops 6 was just this camo grind game. And then you can
Mhm.
literally see people with content as soon as they got dark matter, they upload once a week now or once
Mhm.
every 2 weeks because there's nothing to do. And so, I mean, I go back to Dismo. I mentioned him in my video, and he literally got the dark matter, and my man said, "See ya, peace."
Bye
Like
bye.
he just rolled, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, but he didn't even miss anything. Like realistically, if you're
Sure.
like he could have done a video here and there about whatever gun, maybe the MW19 guns that got added, but other than that, like, what was the point? And the way the maps are designed, you got your grind if you were really grinding in like what was it, a month, maybe?
Yeah.
So it just felt like content fell off for that game. And I know that's not what we're talking about, but it just that was kind of how I felt
Well,
about Cold War too, content wise. I felt like everybody missed the MW19 era of content, and then Cold War, it was kind of like, what happened?
I
I,
think this
I, I
conversation overall is extremely good because you mentioned, like, I know we're not talking about content, but in reality, as COD creators, that is a huge aspect in how we play the games nowadays.
yeah.
So it is definitely worth mentioning, like, yeah, content wise, we're not talking about it, but it is a huge factor.
Yeah.
It's important, and I also think like I would take that a step further. I think it actually has an effect on their direction uh, when it comes to gameplay design. And I'll give you an example, mostly from zombies. You can tell me what you think about this. I don't know how much zombies you play, Butters, but
A little bit.
okay. Well, one of the things that like I don't know if you played Liberty Falls on BO6. It's like the first map. It's like the little town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Liberty Falls is a really curious case because like I think it's actually a very competent and good survival map. It's nothing groundbreaking for me, but it's like serviceable and it's good. That's kind of all it needs to be. However, I think that the camo grind can kind of make them get misleading data about what people are enjoying. So, for example, like before BO6 came out, the sentiment around the community was Terminus is a sick map, it's amazing, and Liberty Falls looks lame. That's what the internet was saying. The
I
game
remember
comes
that.
out. Yeah, you probably remember that. And then the game comes out, and after a couple of months, the turnout from Treyarch tweeted this. They're like, Liberty Falls is like the most played map by like 3x everything else. And they would probably look at that data and be like, Liberty Falls is a great map where we should make more stuff like this. I'm not saying that there aren't aspects that they definitely should continue to do in the future, but the reason for that such high player count is not because of the quality of the map necessarily. It's because that's the easiest map to grind camos on. So it has
Got it.
this inflation of player numbers on it
Yeah.
purely for grinding camos. It has nothing to do with the map itself. It's just the most mathematically straightforward way to get camos. And I think that can mislead them into making more maps like that because the numbers are saying people are playing, but it's like, you know what I mean? It's a little
It's like shipment and multiplayer. It's like shipment
I was
and
about to
multiplayer.
say, Stakeout's everybody's favorite map in BO6, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Love
Yeah.
that map.
Dude, if I play Stakeout one more time, I don't want to go
I'm
to
gonna
the
lose
house
my
party. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm good.
crash
But
out.
that is why COD is also bringing out a lot of more face-off maps. Because I'm sure people are playing more shipments and stakeouts and maps like that, Liberty Falls, whatever is going to be the easiest for grinding camo. So they go, oh, we should probably make more maps like this, and they do.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'm enjoying them, so I'm contributing to the statistics.
Having
So
an option like that is, and I think I grinded camos on Liberty Falls. I think having an option like that is a good thing, but I feel like you have to be careful not to take it too far to be like, okay, now we need to design our whole game philosophy around these maps because that's what people are playing. It's like, sure, they're playing that, but you need an understanding of why they're playing it to like properly contextualize where that fits in your plan for COD. So I'm just hoping that BO7 zombies, like the what the streets have been saying about the maps, they sound amazing. There's some very cool concepts and themes. Very excited to see what they're doing in regards to that. And I do hope there is like a casual counterbalance map. I don't know how much BO3 zombies you played, Butters, but
none, which is a crime.
poof,
I know.
that's a journey. But
I know.
I felt like one of the best aspects of that on launch was that there were two maps. There was the Giant and Shadows of Evil. Shadows of Evil was their new complicated map, and the Giant was just a remake of Doris from World at War. And it's like, that map should exist because that is the map you can just go on and kill zombies and just have a good time. Shadows of Evil is the one you gotta, it's gonna challenge you a bit more. It's gonna require more out of you as a player. And I like that. I think that's a beautiful balance to have. And they did that in BO6 actually. Liberty Falls, I would say, is the casual map, and then Terminus is the slightly more complex one. So I like that formula on paper, and I think they're going to continue to do that in BO7. I just hope that they didn't look at that data and be like, all right, let's make 6 Liberty Falls in a row,
Right.
Like that's my only real critique of the camo grind, which isn't really about the camo grind itself, but it's
No, I think it's a fair point to make for sure. Absolutely.
I think the one thing I wanted to say about that too, I'm going back to my video one more time, but it's another point I made. Either of you, do you remember when it felt like those small maps would almost be like an event and they would come in for a little bit? They were a treat. And I always, that's what I said. I said, man, getting shipment 24/7 for weekend warfare, it like you scrambled. You're like, okay, cancel the plans. We're coming home. We're going to shipment 24/7. I got to get a couple things done. I got to rank guns up. Now it's available all the time. So there's just no, I don't know. It's just missing that. Like I want to play it because there's something there to grind. And then it's like almost like that candy thing. Like give me the candy, take it away.
Guys my theory?
Mm-hmm,
Can I tell you all my theory? My theory is that I thought about this in regards to the new Modern Warfare 2, but mostly in that game. But I thought, I was like, you know what? Maybe it's kind of an optimal strategy for them to make intentionally bad maps so that when a good map does come around, it feels like, oh my God, we got to play this. If you see like Euphrates Bridge pull up, you're like, come on, man. And then you see like an actual fun map come out or like farm or something. You're like, that's looking pretty good. I feel like you need bad maps to make the better maps shine. And then they kind of feel like a treat that way. And they feel more memorable, in my opinion. Just playing BO2, you'd see Nuketown pop up on the thing and you're like, absolutely. And it was a treat. Or like Terminal on the original Modern Warfare 2, everyone would go crazy when that would pop up in the rotation.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying they should intentionally make bad maps, but I think
That's
a
a
bad
wild
map
theory.
here and there, it is. I know it's kind of crazy.
Got left field, but
It's kinda
I'm
crazy.
following.
But I'm like,
But
if you
my-
have a few bad maps in the rotation, it makes you want to play the good maps more.
But what makes a map bad in your opinion? Like what makes Euphrates Bridge bad?
It's just a
I'm
mess.
not
It's a jumbled mess, I feel like.
How so?
I would say there are not enough varied interactions that can occur because everything is going like this all of the time. There's only so many times you can meet in the middle, and it's rolling a slot machine. You're either going to win or lose that gunfight there in the middle. There's not the one thing I really liked about old Infinity Ward maps, and they still do it in the newer games for sure, but they were very asymmetrical, and there were typically like very pronounced power points. You could get on top of the thing in Terminal, or on top of the tower in Rust is a great example. You'd have these power points that people were fighting for that are highly advantageous. Euphrates Bridge may not be the best example, but I think it's a good one. I can't really think of like a power position to be on that map. It's
I'm in
like,
agreement.
Top of the bridge.
Yeah, I
I
guess
feel
that
like
would be the
that's-
spot, right?
yeah, it's like I can't really think of a key power position that you want to fight for and take that is like a clear thing you want to hold. It's like it's just literally a straight line, and you're gonna keep meeting in the middle, and maybe you'll win or lose a gunfight. It's like to me, I don't care for maps like that.
Okay. I'm always going to play devil's advocate for maps that are, widely considered bad because it's like, what do you mean by bad? How are we playing these maps? Are we using snipers? Are we using SMGs? Are we using ARs? Are we running around with melee? Are we playing
Sure.
free-for-all? Domination? Like, I think every map has its strong points. Euphrates Bridge, I actually think was really fun for free-for-all. But that's neither here nor there. Who's playing free-for-all?
You are right about that. There are maps that are like good for other modes, or like there are maps that I don't know why I think of Ghost, but I'm like there's maps that I couldn't stand playing TDM, but were actually good S&D maps.
I feel like there's games like that. I mean, MW19, I feel like is a widely considered a great S&D game, and then a terrible team deathmatch game, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean
that's a reasonable objection. That's fair. I actually didn't really think about that. So I think it really is dependent on the context of like how the map's being played is a big part of it. I think you can broad stroke from a sense of like, in general, people would probably pick Nuketown over Euphrates Bridge just because there's a more snappy gameplay loop to be had there. There's more varied, valid or viable play styles. I think that's another thing that I feel like makes a bad map is that it forces you into a very particular play style that is you kind of have to play that way or die. I don't really like that either. And I think Nuketown is the epitome of play however you want and figure it out and you'll do fine.
I think it's accurate. Euphrates Bridge, I think of, long shots or holding down a point in free-for-all, or maybe domination was kind of fun there. But Nuketown, I think of, wow, like everything's pretty good on here. Long shots are a little but with the sniper. But besides that, more things are more viable. So I guess what would make a bad map is, would it be the amount of like different gameplay styles you can have on the map, the viability?
That might be a good way to like put a marker on it. Is like how many viable ways you can play that map. It's like I think of Wasteland on the original Modern Warfare 2. There's only a handful of ways you can really do all right on that map. A lot of the roster of that game will become irrelevant if you try to run it on Wasteland against reasonably good players. So I feel like that is probably the best way to categorize it, is like, how many play styles are actually viable on this map relative to each other. I think that's a good way to put it.
I think so too. Yeah, and I think Wasteland, I obviously loved Wasteland because I was a sniper. Of course I loved Wasteland.
Right. And it's like, and if it's like that map works for your playstyle, you're gonna have an affinity for it. I think that's cool. That can be cool every now and again. A map that is like made for people who rush, it's like that can be your map.
Black Ops 6.
Right.
Right.
Now,
Butters,
question for y'all.
Okay, I was gonna say, what's your least favorite map of all time? If we're talking about,
I was gonna ask what y'all's favorite maps of all time
Okay,
were. Look at me being positive,
yes.
and you going, "What's your least favorite?"
Well,
What do you hate,
That's on me.
Ghost?
That's me. We were talking about Euphrates
That
Bridge,
is
and I got upset.
funny.
I got angry about that map. It brought back PTSD.
Oh, that's really funny. Oh.
All right, all of us need to go through and go top
Yes.
3 maps and then
Yep.
top 3 worst maps. And
Okay.
and they might not be perfect because I'll probably think of something later, but I'm gonna
Yeah, same here. So y'all go first because like
because you're thinking.
if we're talking MP, I gotta think real quick. So if y'all have
All
something
right,
off the top
Butters,
of
you're
your
the
head,
guest.
please go.
So do you have you want to go first?
So my favorite map of all time.
Euphrates
Skid Row.
Bridge.
Skid Row.
I should have said Euphrates Bridge. I should
You're
have.
like, anyways, I gotta break some news to y'all.
So I hate to break it to you.
It's
You're gonna hate me. Skid Row is actually my favorite of all time.
okay.
Really?
I like that
It's
map.
a good map.
Yeah.
But like, what's the play style for Skid Row?
I think it's one of those maps that can
Kind of everything, right?
almost everything is relatively viable. Almost everything.
It's a
Are you
lot of
talking
tight
about?
corners, though.
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. What did you think of it compared to like the original MW2? Because they brought it back in the new Modern Warfare 3. Do you feel like they played distinctly different? Because I thought that there were some maps on the new MW3, like the remastered ones, that played vastly different than their original counterparts, and some were like kind of the same. I thought Skid Row was a good representation of what that was like. Not all the map. Favela was really different for me, I felt like, but Skid Row
agree.
was like, oh, this feels like Skid Row.
Yep, I'm in full agreement. I do miss the green aesthetic that was in
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2 2009 in MW3 2022 2023 2023 excuse me
23. Yeah.
23, thank you. It was a little dark and depressing, but it made sense alongside the lineup of other maps too. If they made like a bright green Skid Row, I think people would be very confused. I think what they did with it was great, and it ran great, and I was so excited, and I loved it, and every time it came up, I was, yes,
I
I'm
feel like it
sniping.
feel like
didn't
that's-
come up
that's
that
what- see,
often
you-
though, right?
Mhm.
I know.
It definitely
This was
did
all like
not.
Skid Row.
Yeah.
Why?
A lot of people did not vote Skid Row. It was always like high rise, I felt like. Terminal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people love high rise for some reason.
Controversial opinion. Ready?
Trash.
Drink your water. Ready? High rise, not good in MW3 2023.
I respect that.
Excuse me. It's not bad. It's good. It is the worst playing in regards to what it used to be back in MW2
You'll
2009.
get no arguments from me on that.
I love that. Thank
Completely
you.
agree.
Thank
Listen,
you.
I'm really getting the positivity vibe that you preach because I'm telling you, she just went from it was terrible to like, it wasn't that bad.
wait.
It was decent. It was actually good, to be honest with you. I'm like, wait a second,
Look.
what was it though? Was it
Look,
bad or was it actually good?
I'm all
Anyway.
about the positivity and
No,
happiness.
I love it. I love
I
it.
have so I have a degree in IT, but a minor in PR. So I'm all about spinning things in a positive
I love
light.
That. I love that.
Sure.
So
How would you spin
know,
Modern Warfare 2 in a positive way? Let's
Oh my
start-
god. Here we go.
MW2
Give
2022?
him the pitch. Give him the pitch.
Yeah, well, how's the
I
PR?
thought that game was. I thought it was fine. I thought it was fun. I thought it was different.
That's a
I think
good
it
word.
was.
Different.
I think it was a good reset. I think it's probably the word I use the most. It's a good reset in regards to the COD franchise. I actually thought it was interesting how they tried to implement a lot of the visual recoil and smoke. I thought it caused for slower playstyles overall because you're not going to be running and gunning as much. I think it was a good reset and a good attempt. I still didn't like it very much.
Okay.
I liked it a little bit.
Here we go.
I
And then
enjoyed
you
that
actually
game.
loved it, is
Professional.
what you're
No,
saying.
here's the thing. I liked that game, but in regards to the rest of the COD franchise, it's not in my favorites.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it more than most people did. I do know
Yeah.
that because every time I bring it up, it's like in my COD tier list, it's in I think maybe like low B, high C tier, and everybody thinks I'm crazy. And I'm like, you know what?
I can't remember.
I'm sorry you didn't have a good time.
Yeah.
I did.
I remember your tier list. I think I made fun of you on something. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember because I remember you replied back to it because I'm like, what the heck is that tier list? It might have been MW2. Honestly, I might have.
Are you the one who clowned me on it?
Yes, because I think I took
Yo,
your.
we have some beef on the podcast.
Yeah, there was
There's
some beef
beef right
because
now.
I think I like copied or no, I think I did the exact opposite of your list or
did.
something. And I'm like,
did.
here's my list, and then yeah, it was. I don't know. I just like doing
Oh,
that kind of stuff.
what
It's kinda
happened
fun.
is, I think you put BO4 high up, and I responded saying BO4 best campaign. I'm almost positive that's what it was.
Yes, that's what it
Almost
was.
positive. Yep.
Yeah, that was a good.
No beef.
That was a good. You know what? It's different. MW2. It's different. That's the greatest PR
Are you just gonna
answer.
start saying that now on the podcast?
It's
You're gonna be
different.
Like, MW2, it's different.
It's different, man. It's very,
It is
very,
different.
very different.
And different
Um,
is good in the COD franchise. Everybody always asks for something different in the COD franchise, and we get it, and a lot of us don't like it. Sure, there's criticism that we can have on it, but at the end of the day, it was something different. I enjoyed it.
There you go, Tyler. Your
I'm
redemption arc is here.
I'm just keeping my mouth shut right now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
What about
kidding, I'm
campaign?
kidding. The
What'd you think of campaign?
It
Oh
was
my God,
okay.
we can talk about that.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It was just okay.
Everything felt like a downgrade to me from MW19. That's probably why I didn't
Sure.
enjoy it. Like I just felt like every step was 20 times better in MW19.
Okay.
So, but anyway, we don't have to talk about MW2 anymore. Let's go back to your maps. Let's go.
We're
I'd
done.
rather go back to enjoying something. So Skid
Anyways,
Row.
back to our best maps.
Yeah, let's go back to positive here.
Anyways,
Like
back to
literally,
Skid Row.
Skid Row.
He said, "I hate this."
Yeah, I can't talk about MW. That thing gets so much love on this podcast and so much hate at the same time. But anyway,
MW 2019 or 2022?
2022. We talk about it.
Okay.
I talk about it
Polarizing.
far too much.
I got you.
You talk about MW2 as much as I talk about the BO3 campaign.
Yes, that
Hey.
is exactly it.
Every COD player has their like one hyperfixation, their one holy grail, and lo and behold, it might be something odd like BO3 campaign. It might be something odd like
Modern Warfare 2,
MW.
baby.
Black Ops
You know?
4 campaign.
And
Black Ops 4 campaign.
the rumors say it exists, wherever it may be.
Okay, so Skid Row. I actually really like the pick.
Yeah,
I like the pick.
Great pick.
I like Skid Row a lot.
So second, or was that third, or was that first?
That
Skid Row's first.
Oh,
It's
okay.
my absolute favorite
Okay.
for sure. Oh man, it's hard to think. Like going back
I know
into
there's so many
There's
maps.
so many.
There's
There are
so
hundreds
many.
of maps.
and
And if I
there's
start
so
thinking
many
about
that got
DLC maps, my
remastered.
brain's gonna break.
I was gonna say there's got a lot of remaster where you're kind of like, man, I'm kind of sick of that map, but back when it came out, it was so amazing.
True. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say Shipment is top 3.
Okay. Well, okay. OG shipment. Or
Well, I was
like
gonna say which version.
Mostly OG, but I do like how it has evolved throughout the COD franchise. Because
Yeah.
originally, I don't know if you all know, but Shipment was not supposed to be a map in COD 4. It was a playtest map, and they left it in the game, and then they shipped it out and said, "Oh, cool, guess it's there." And it's now one of the most iconic COD maps. So
the
I think
homies
that's
like this map.
Yep, pretty much. I liked
Wow.
the colors, the aesthetic of it. I liked. I mean, I was a sniper, so like 1v1s on there with the M48-3.
So good.
You know, wall bang, reload, cancel, wall bang, reload, cancel, like 20-0,
So
you
good.
know, as you got to do. So that was very fond memories for me. And then, okay, I have my third one, Scrapyard.
I like Scrapyard.
Solid.
The silence was.
Well, I was just trying to think of
I
like.
was like, all right, yeah.
So I mean, so you were kind of happy with MW3 because you got 2 of your favorite maps coming back.
Dude, in Scrapyard on MW3.
Very good.
Oh
great.
my gosh,
Very good.
it was beautiful. The sky.
It plays great. That was one of my favorite maps on the new MW3. To be honest,
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
this is fantastic.
Yeah, it was
I'm like,
good.
Favela,
So good.
I love the original. Didn't care for it in the new game. I don't think it played the same. It had a different.
I agree
flow,
with
but
you.
Scrapyard,
What?
I was like,
Why didn't it play this? Is it because we can mantle everything?
Yes.
I think
Jump
that's a big
around.
part of it is the verticality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has gotten a lot faster, and that changes the dynamic of the whole map.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
huge part of
why
it.
I don't like high rise in MW3 personally, because it used to be like a 3-lane map and now it's everywhere because you just mantle everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So those are my
Solid
3
picks.
picks.
I
Thank you.
don't have any arguments about that. Y'all want to hear some? All right, I'll.
We need to rate each other's picks.
Oh, I just realized all my maps start with the letter S.
Skid Row.
Yeah, they do.
Whoa.
I would give your list a
Stakeout.
stakeout. I would give your,
It's nice.
I'm going 8 out of 10 on the list.
Thank you. Thank you. I will
I was
take
thinking
that.
a tier list. I'm gonna give that an A tier. I'm gonna give that an A tier.
I
I'll
respect
take
that.
that.
I respect
Love it.
that.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Um,
Y'all's turn. Go.
Chop, you
all
ready?
right, so I'm just gonna say this. These aren't actually my favorite maps. I would have to really sit down with a list, but I'm gonna pull a couple crazy ones out here, and y'all can tell me what you think. I'm gonna say, you know what's a really good one? Cove BO2.
Ooh.
Y'all remember that one?
DLC.
I didn't
DLC
have
map?
DLC.
Oh no.
Cove
I'm
is-
familiar with it. It's the Windows 10 lock screen one.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
It's,
familiar with it. I
that's-
played it
that's
like
a
once or
good
twice.
map. That's a
Really
map.
good from what I
Great map.
remember.
Great map.
Yeah, but I
Cove.
didn't play much.
I'm gonna pull another crazy one out here. Trailer Park.
Okay. DLC's a
That map is
DLC
so
guy.
good.
He's a DLC
Yep,
guy
yep.
here.
You do be
I like
liking the
Trailer Park.
DLC.
And I might say BO3 Fringe.
Yep.
I
Specifically BO3 Fringe. That map
Amazing map.
Poof. They had
Special.
something. They had something there. Yeah.
Fully agree. When I think of BO3, I think of Fringe, personally. So
Yeah.
that's
So they remade it, right, in Modern I haven't played it. Like, I don't. Is it out yet? I haven't played the map.
it is out. I've played it.
Is
No.
it good?
I can't remember, so I'm gonna say I don't know.
Yeah, you played it.
Memorable enough to
Yeah,
remember.
Butters, you played it. I watched the video. It was you were
I
looking at the
did.
Yo,
bourbon.
I
You were
literally-
looking at the bourbon on the wall.
Oh my god, that's right. It's in a distillery. I'm a big
Yeah.
bourbon fanatic, so
Yes.
I was looking around the map, being like, oh my gosh, it's a distillery.
Yes.
Look at the whiskey.
Does it play
played well.
different, distinctly
know-
different MW3? Or I'm sorry, BO3?
It's interesting that y'all had brought up that BO3 can be played with boots on the ground, because when they said they're bringing Fringe to this game, I'm like, that's just gonna run weird because we don't have jetpacks. It runs amazing.
Mhm.
So
Remaster
really good.
BO3.
I'll
It's
have to play
time.
it. Remaster BO3,
Dude,
baby.
dude,
Guys,
honestly,
that game is 10 years old.
Oh no.
it's time.
Black Ops 3 is 10 years old.
It's time to remaster it. There's no way it's 10 years old. I simply choose not to hear that.
And it's crazy too, because
crazy.
COD 4 Remastered was only 9 when it got remastered. So,
I played that more than Infinite Warfare.
Oh, that game was so good. COD 4 Remastered. That was a part of my identity argument, by the way, before I give my maps. It was COD 4 Remastered. COD 4 didn't have customization, and they brought it in, and it never felt like it was weird. It never felt like, what in the world is happening right now? You had all these gear that looked like soldiers from the era that they, or the operator that they were. I think maybe the craziest thing was like the broken alcohol bottle. Like that was the craziest weapon.
Why do I think there was like a Santa stick or something like my
It was probably melee was as weird as they got.
Something. There was some like weird melee that was like a candy cane or something. I don't know.
You're
Something
probably
They
right.
did have some
related.
sort of like Santa Christmassy event.
Do you
Or was
know
that
what I'm
MW
talking about? I'm like,
2019?
is this like dementia hitting? I'm like, I
No.
feel like there was like a candy cane in COD 4 Remastered.
I think there was. I keep on thinking of Crash on MW 2019, which is not the same thing.
Oh, maybe it was like a.
It might have been
Christmas
that.
Crash, yeah, something like that.
I think it might have been that. Maybe. I don't know for sure.
But I
Comments
would
will
agree
have
they
to
kept
clarify.
it relatively on the rails, like as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree. My maps. I'm with you on Fringe, BO3.
Hell yeah, brother.
The fact that they added that in Black Ops 6 season, whatever in the world we are, makes me a little bit depressed. Because that would have been. I'm glad they added it back, but at this point, Black Ops 6 is dead. I hate to.
You're
say
saying
But-
they should have done it earlier.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like season 1.
Okay.
Season 1
Yeah. Okay.
or Black Ops 7. Especially if we got a little
Sure.
bouncy bounce off the wall that the leaks are saying. So, I would go Fringe, BO3. I would go Crash from COD 4 or MW19. I like them both. And I feel like I got to have like a Black Ops 2 map on there. You know, either Raid
interesting
or,
that-
Homie
or
Raid
Standoff.
Standoff.
I
Yeah.
would probably go
Right.
Standoff because I really, really like that one. I feel like I've seen Raid too many times at this point.
Fair enough.
And
yeah.
Standoff
Well,
is
we had
just
Standoff remastered in Cold War. It was.
Yeah, but that was it, right? It was BO2 and Cold War. Was it the only one time they showed up?
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't think it came
Yeah, I
back in BO4, right?
No, no,
No.
it didn't. No Standoff in BO4.
So I go
BO4
Standoff.
had like a lot of OG or like their original maps.
Yeah. Standoff, Fringe, Crash. That would be
Fair
my
enough,
three.
man. That's a solid list.
I'm trying to think of
Solid.
a,
I'm
I'm
gonna
trying to
give-
think of a Sledgehammer map. Nobody said a Sledgehammer
You know,
map.
we have not been giving any love to Sledgehammer. That's sad.
What would be
I'm
your
trying
top
to think of a lot
Sledgehammer
of the
map?
AW maps, like low key. I'm trying to remember
Like
some of the
Detroit,
names. Y'all
maybe?
Remember that oh my god, what is that map called? The one that's like in Greece, and you have like you know what I'm talking about? The Greece
In
map like, you're, like, on
MW3?
the beach. No, in Advanced Warfare, brother. The
I'm in the wrong era.
I don't.
God, what is that one called?
Both of us are like.
Oh,
I got
okay.
it.
I remember the clown show. I remember they brought back what was the map they brought back where it was like you're in a
Terrace,
training
it was
facility.
Terrace was it?
Terrace.
Oh yeah, the like the white buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, at night. At
yeah.
night. That was a great
I
great
love
map.
That map
That was probably that could be one of their best ones, honestly.
is phenomenal. That was a great.
I'm
one.
looking at
Dude,
AW maps real quick. Oh, I got it. I got Sledgehammer's best map.
Hit me.
Solar.
Nah, bro. That's a crazy
Solar
reference.
I need to refresh my memory.
Solar
I remember
AW
this one.
Trust.
Yep. It's a good map, but it was a little
You
awkward, I
know,
think.
Trust.
when I think of AW, this is the first map that I think of, and I remember really enjoying it.
Yes.
Is it my favorite Sledgehammer? Probably not.
Neither
but,
of you agree with me, but okay. I said it
No, but
confidently
it's
like
good.
it was it.
But it is a
I
good
don't think
map.
it's GOAT tier. Like, I don't think it's up there. But it's a good reference.
For sure. I'm trying to think of a Sledgehammer map that I gotta play that one.
Maybe World War II? Is there anything in World War II? No.
That was another dark age for me. That was a game I checked out.
The map with the soldiers, Sandbox, that was a great map.
That one was cute.
That's a wacky one.
I liked the
Y'all remember that picnic in BO3?
Oh, I'm gonna start crying.
I didn't play the DLC, so I don't remember. I remember people playing it, but I didn't actually play it myself.
When did you start getting invited to events, Butters? Like BO4?
MW 2019.
Oh, 2019.
Was that your first event?
That was my first one. Yep.
Did you come to Black Ops 4?
Nope.
Oh.
Did you create in BO4, or am I losing my mind here?
That's where I blew up I did a
Okay.
Road to Dark Matter, Gold Paladin, and for some reason that just took off, and here I am. So.
Sweet.
Yep. I will say a Sledgehammer map that I like, and I'm looking at it right now, because when I think of World War II, I think of this one. It's not the best of the best, but I really like it. USS Texas.
Yeah. That plays horribly in
it.
Vanguard, by the way.
Does it?
I didn't know they brought it to Vanguard. I'm gonna be honest, bro.
Oh, you guys weren't grinding Vanguard? Come on.
I was grinding Vanguard, but I was a camo grinder, so I was all the
You're
shipment.
on ship, what was it, Ship Moss or something? What was it? What they call it?
Shipments, that's the...
No, wasn't it like Das House and Shipment on that game? It was like Ship Moss or something. MAUS.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, good times.
Well, in Vanguard,
I like
Zombies
DOS
was
House.
out, and I was...
DOS House was, I thought it was good
purgatory.
too. Oh,
you were in Purgatory over Zombies.
Yeah, bro was in the dark ages for sure.
Yeah.
I want to keep talking about Call of Duty, but I also want to talk about the thing that you've kept hidden from us from the start of the podcast.
Which one? The one that you're supposed to be surprised at?
The one that we have to Twitch act.
Yes.
The Twitch act. Okay, ready?
So do we want to talk about that, or we want to talk any more about Call of Duty?
I mean, this is still technically COD.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It is
come
COD.
back to it later. I'm curious about these things.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah.
Twitch
I am too. So I go thrifting a lot, and I was on the hunt for games as of recently because I've been kind of getting more into Xbox 360 and Wii game collecting.
Yeah.
Obviously, always on the hunt for CODs.
I love collecting physical games too. I'm saying.
Yep, it's fun. I actually just collected. I tweeted about it too. There is a COD War collection, and it has COD 3, COD 4, and World at War, or was it COD 2, COD 3, COD 4?
Yeah, it was COD 2, right?
I think it was COD 2, right? I should know. I bought it. But it's super unique, and I saw it and said, "Give me that right now." But I went to a consignment store where it's mostly clothes, and they had a slight gaming section, and I went and I looked and I said, "They make COD for this?" Wii U. Wii U COD.
Wii U.
Oh my god.
I'm so
crazy.
curious. I have Black Ops 2. Thank you. Exactly. Can I get the Twitch? Thanks, guys. I know you're so surprised. I have Ghosts, and I have Black Ops 2. Yes. Now my question is, how did they handle DLC on this? How do you play it with the screen controller? Is there like the UAV and map on the controller itself? Like, what do you take it and aim like this? I'm so fascinated.
I gotta load up Transit on that. I gotta load up Zombies. I gotta see what's
yes,
going on.
you do. Yeah, how do zombies run on this?
Do they have zombies?
They have
I would imagine, right?
Well, like Black Ops 3, Xbox doesn't have what, campaign or something? I felt like some of the ports.
Here.
I thought some of the ports didn't have that stuff.
Well, it says campaign multiplayer zombies.
Okay.
Dang.
Shout out Wii U, man.
What does it say for? Are there any weird studios on there? Like I'm sure it says Treyarch. Are there any studios that are curious on there?
We have Treyarch, we have Havoc, and we have Demonware.
Okay, that's the classics. That sounds about normal.
This one has a whole load of them. Oh my gosh, we have Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Raven, Neversoft, Demonware, Havoc, Bink Video. There's a whole list of them down there. But yeah, I just wanted to point out that I really want to play these and just see
Yeah, you
what the
should.
heck is going on? Like, if you play zombies and
Please.
you need to put up a barrier, do you do it on the controller? Do you like
I can't
No,
touch
you have to
pad, do
physically
something?
like go get like a 2x4 plank of wood and like
Yeah.
nail it to the thing, and
What
you know.
does the what
Exactly.
does the Wii U even look like?
Do you know the Wii U?
I
Dog, you
do.
never-
Wasn't it black?
Yeah, it's like a little thing.
Yeah,
And
like
then you
even
had
black and white and different colors.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. But couldn't you
But the
plug it
controller
into
itself was like I had a screen on it.
You're right.
Mhm.
So like, what does that have for COD Wii U?
You're maybe reload? No, because they got X and Y and all that.
Do you have the ability to record footage for that?
I'm gonna find a way.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say if you need to, like, there are a bunch of adapters you can get that like do like AV cable to HDMI, and they're amazing. I have a bunch of them for
Oh.
like recording PS2 and stuff like that. I was in Japan just before I got back like 2 days ago. And I got same thing. I was looking for like physical games, and I got this like Japanese copy of Demon Souls, like a
Whoa.
PlayStation 3 like best. You know, it was like a kind of a rare case for it.
You know,
So
we
I
had a
picked it up while I
game
was there.
collector in here.
There's I don't
Nerd.
think you can see him. There's a
I'm just
bunch
kidding,
of
I'm kidding, I'm
Nerd.
kidding.
Yo, nerd on this gaming podcast.
Exactly.
I have about
That's
40
sick.
Call
love
of Duties
collecting
next to
physical
me, right to
games.
my left. I got like 8 copies of certain CODs.
I love collecting physical games. I have a PlayStation 2 copy of Persona 3 back there. It's like my prized possession.
Wait, didn't you buy
Sick.
Chop? Didn't you buy the one that got canceled?
Oh yeah, I have a physical copy of Concord.
Oh man.
I went and bought one. So the day that they announced that game was shutting down, right? I went to a Walmart immediately when I saw the tweet, and they still have them up on the shelves because it's going to take a while for them to take them down. And so I go pick up a case. I take it out of the shelf, take it up to the guy at the desk, just put it up there. I'm not acting sus or nothing, but he like scans it and he's looking at it kind of weird. He's like, I don't know if I'm supposed to sell you this. And I was just like, don't worry about it. Like, it's fine. Like, I don't care. And he's like, okay, whatever. And so the next day they were gone, but I have a physical copy of Concord in there just because it's kind of funny. And
That's
like,
crazy.
I just had to
That's
do it.
sick. I went to a game exchange over in Greenville, South Carolina, and they had one Concord copy there, and I was very tempted to buy it.
Yeah. I mean,
Have you
there
played
was
it,
a
Chop?
moment on eBay. I played it, yeah, a little. Oh no, you can't play the physical version. Like I played it before they took the game down. That's the whole thing with Concord that sucks. Is like it was this online only thing. Actually, I'll grab the case, but it literally says like no offline play. The game is
Wow.
dead. It's lost media. Let me grab it real quick.
Yeah, please do. I can't believe the whole Concord thing. What
that's
a
sad, isn't it?
fascinating time in gaming history. It really is.
Yeah, I actually have. I was gonna mention. I'll off stream. I'm gonna tell you my next video that I'm doing. It's involving collecting. So
Oh, I'm
ex-
pumped. You
I'm
gotta tell me about
excited.
it.
I'm excited.
Here
Look
it
at
is.
that.
Oh, is it
bad
still
boy, man.
sealed?
It's sealed.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
On the front it says gameplay requires internet access and play. Yeah, okay. And then on the back it says no. Oh yeah, right here. I don't know if you could see it, but it says no offline mode.
That's crazy.
Nothing at all. So I
Shout
could
out
throw
modern
this,
gaming.
Right, I could throw this into my console and it will do absolutely nothing.
Man.
That's
Sick.
wild.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Did you guys ever see there was a like a commemorating plaque that had a copy of Concord in it and like a congratulations to the dev team for creating
and the guy-
Concord?
and he was selling it.
They found it at Goodwill.
Oh no.
I know.
Not
The
Goodwill.
dev donated. I'm so sad.
That
I would have
hurts.
grabbed that and I would have loved it and I would have put it on the wall.
That's tough. That's tough.
Anyways.
Somebody snatched it up and likes it, but
And is selling it for a lot of money, which you know
Yeah.
what? You do what you want to do. Obviously, it's just I won't knock you, but you know.
Have you?
Damn.
Can
like,
you sell that Concord copy? Like, are people trying to
I
buy
could,
those?
yeah. I mean, they're on eBay. You know, you can buy them on eBay. There was a moment, like I was saying, like right after the announcement, that the prices for these kind of got insane. They were like selling for like $200-300 a copy.
Wow.
And then if you somebody had like a like you can get comics like graded and like protected, and like a grading for them. Somebody got like a 9.0 grading for their Concord copy and was trying to sell it for like $4,000 or something, and nobody's buying it.
Yeah, that's wild.
So yeah, I like you can get a sealed one for not that much now, but I
like
was
a
like,
PSA
honestly,
9 Concord. What are
Yep.
you gonna do with it?
They said, yo, 4 grand so you can look at it. It's like, yeah, all right, bro.
That's impressive. I shout out the game collecting community. I mean, it
Yeah.
is lost media. It is cool.
Yeah.
It is cool. I think I'm gonna keep this sealed for a long time. But again, it's like lost media in the way I can't even play it, unfortunately,
Right.
even if I wanted to. So it's just kind of a brick sitting here, but
I was
that's
gonna
okay.
say.
It's kind of funny.
Are you?
Yeah, it'll keep the disc spinning in your console.
For sure. It'll
Yeah.
keep it in good maintenance.
Exactly. It's a maintenance disc.
I know you do
That's
like
crazy.
I know you do like where you fix stuff on your YouTube channel and obviously Call of Duty.
Mhm.
Are you trying to mix more in of like hunting? I know you kind of like do it like as a little side intro almost in some of the videos. But
Yeah,
are you trying
I
to do like a dedicated video soon where you're like, I'm going out hunting?
you have no idea. That's like my next video.
Oh, is it really?
It is
Spoilers.
actually one of my next videos. Yeah, I
I
have
love it.
all of the here's a spoiler. Here's all of the shirts that I had thrifted that are
Oh
all
my-
gaming
yo,
related.
Sonic.
Dude, the Sonic shirt's
Yo,
insane.
I love that
it's
Sonic shirt.
it's
That's
it's a
crazy.
kid shirt, but I cut off the sleeves and it fits. So
Yeah, I'd wear it.
I'm pretty pumped about it. And then I will
That's sick.
show just because it's here.
Oh,
Wait, that's so
man.
tight.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
actually,
hanging.
you found that at a thrift store?
So technically, it wasn't a thrift store, but I got it at an antique market. The guy had just picked it up at the thrift store, so he got to
Okay,
it first,
okay.
and I bought it off
Sure.
of him. So it was sitting on the racks, but I bought it
Damn,
off of him.
that's tight. I'm jealous.
I actually follow a Twitter account that's called like Star Wars Thrifting. And there is so many cool things that they post on that they find. I'm like, holy, like if I had some of this stuff, I would go crazy spending money on it.
Right. I think that thrifting is, especially for gaming stuff, is really fun because as somebody who works from home, I need a reason to get out of the house.
Yeah,
So
no, I feel
once
that.
a week, walk around, see what's around, go to garage sales. You never know. I got a Noctua fan for $1. I mean, like, is that
You
crazy?
you
No,
can get
but
some amazing things at garage sales.
you
Low-key,
sure
like,
can.
and for extremely cheap.
Yep,
Just gotta have an eye for it. But if you do,
it's true.
you can do really great at a garage sale. That's I was also noticing that in Japan was there was so much stuff that if you're into gaming or any of that stuff, like Tyler, you would have went crazy there, bro. They had so much like cool COD stuff there.
Oh, man.
So there honestly wasn't that much Halo in Japan, to be honest, but there was a lot of really cool like Call of Duty stuff. And I blacked out going into these. There was a store called Book Off, right? And it's kind of like it's almost like a thrift store, but specifically for like gaming stuff. I walked in there and blacked out. It was like
That's
incredible.
sick.
That's where I got this Demon Souls disc.
You charged a
that
credit
makes
card and
sense.
said it wasn't you.
Yeah, I said,
You're
you know
like,
what? I'm spending
I'm in
like,
America.
I'm spending Japanese yen. I have no clue what this number means. It's fake money. Don't worry about it.
It does
I
not
got what I-
compute.
Dispute
Doesn't
that,
count.
please. We're disputing that
Yeah.
charge.
Yep. Speaking of
sick, man.
thrifting, I do want to show you all the other thing that you guys don't know about. I mean, I made a tweet about it, so maybe you saw. But another thing that I found thrifting, I found this bag, right?
Yes.
It's not
Wait, is
super
that the
interesting.
World War II bag?
It sure is.
Shout out
I
World
knew
War
it.
Dude, their marketing was so good, man.
Oh
Isn't
my
that sick?
god,
They have
And that's why I
so
have
much
my,
good
that's
stuff.
sick.
My patch. It didn't come with the patch. I'm missing an actual buckle for the one side, and I'm
Yeah.
missing the Velcro patch.
Did
but
it come with the canteen? Like, is the
no, I wish.
I
did-
have
the
did you
canteen.
hear about the canteen? Do you have it?
No, I
it's-
don't have the canteen.
It's somewhere in the mess of stuff that I did when I bought all of them.
Did y'all hear about like what the situation with that was?
No.
The World at
Like,
War
so-
one or the World War II?
The World War II one.
Okay, because the World at
So-
War one, they have like there's a little description. They say do not drink from.
Is the World War II canteen also closed off?
No, I think the World War II one's good. I think it was green and had like a little top.
Okay,
Obviously,
maybe it
they
was
all
a
have
World War
tops,
One
but-
then, or it was what I thought it was. I thought it was the World War II one. But anyways, I was told by someone at Activision, they were like, the collector's edition for maybe it was World at War, but it was one of those two games. But the canteen, the way it was manufactured, I think in China, like something happened with the metals to where like
War of the War.
it was very unsafe to drink out of them because there was like metal shards in the actual
Yes.
canteen. So
Oh.
if you drink it, it would just slice your throat. Like it was they they were like, do not drink out of this. Like, please. We're
And
begging
that's
you.
allowed?
No, but
No,
that's how they got manufactured.
No.
And they're like, well, everybody bought them, so
I think they
Don't
ended up
drink out of
like
this.
sealing them or something like that. Because I don't
Yeah,
even know if
yeah,
I can
I
even
think they got
open
sealed.
mine.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Whatever
terrifying.
the sealed canteen is, that's the one that's like dangerous.
Cool.
So I was wondering if like that bag came with it or not.
No, it had
That's
some
fun.
Nerf darts in it, but no canteen.
That's sick.
Other COD stuff.
Yeah,
But,
dude,
yeah, I found that. Cool.
World War II had I mean, man, that was when they were really trying. Like that was the Fortnite era. Like they had the bag you have, they had the World War II hat, they had a special edition box where it had like the behind the scenes book, it had a canteen, like you said, had something else. There was a PlayStation World War II version. I mean, I mean, again, that's Sledgehammer doing their thing.
It's true.
They were cooking.
I think World War II would have been a lot more successful if Fortnite didn't come out in the same year. Because Fortnite was free to play versus World War II, which was, you had to pay to play it. And also, it is, it features gameplay and a war and a storyline that we're already relatively familiar with.
Sure.
Since we already had, like, World at War, So, why play World War II when you just play World at War, Whatever.
All right, question for y'all.
100% agree.
Mm.
What's y'all's favorite COD Collector's Edition?
MW 2019. Night vision goggles.
Very good.
Yep. I have them. I don't know where, but I have them.
I'm going
about
jug.
you?
I'm going
I mean,
jug fridge.
Oh,
The
Jug Fridge is
Juggernaut
cool
fridge
too,
is
though.
great.
Jug fridge is on another level for me.
I also really love the Black Ops 1 RCXD. I got that
Yes.
thing up there.
Yeah.
I love that little thing. It's fun. It's just so fun to drive around. The camera's so bad.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
the
really
quality's
bad. Yeah.
It's like my webcam. It's like it was made for me. It was
They go
great.
So
hand in
when you
hand.
get your new camera, you're taking the webcam and
Oh
you're
my
putting it on the
God,
RC,
I
right?
should do the podcast with the RCXD camera. How funny would that be? Yeah, all right,
Yes, you
lads.
should.
Next podcast, you're gonna see something real. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but you'll see.
You gotta make it drive around randomly too. Be like, oh no, no, no. Yep.
Well, we've been going almost 2 hours, so I feel like I don't want to take any more of your time. This
Call
has
of
been
Duty.
Call of Duty is the
Duty.
greatest of all time. Call of Duty is back.
Hey.
We are so back.
I know that a lot of people love to criticize COD. They love to hate on COD, but at the end of the day, COD has my heart, and I love Call of Duty, and I want to see it succeed. And I want to play it for a very, very long time.
Call of Duty.
I think that
Call
sums
of
up
Duty.
literally everybody that gets called a shill. I think that really sums it up. Like, we all want to see this thing do well. That's why we give so many opinions and suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You just got to do it the right way, obviously, and not call the people
Absolutely.
absolute
Sure.
idiots that make the game. I don't think that's ever going to work.
It's just like I think we try to do a fair job here of like still being critical where it's necessary, but also not just like being negative for the sake of it. And
Yeah.
Right.
it's like you're in a conundrum as a creator where if you're too positive, you just get called a shill all the time. But if you're too negative, they go, "Oh, you're the reason the game sucks." Blah blah blah. It's like, you know what? We just have fun on here. That's as far as it goes. Like,
You can't
that
win. No matter
that
what you
actually
do.
brought up a good point, and I want to ask you, when do you think it switched? Because I feel like going back to like getting invited to events, I worked my butt off. I've said this in previous podcasts to get my name out there, to make videos, to make content, to get invited to these events. And now I feel like now that I've been getting invited to the events, it's almost the opposite of like, oh, this guy's a shill. He's going to the COD event. It almost turns sour now when I would see people going to play, like Espresso would go to Black Ops 4 and all that. And I'm like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. How do I get there? Do you think it's switched, or is that just me kind of reading too much into it?
I don't think the events or anything changed. I think the COD landscape changed with MW 2019. Not in a bad way, but it's hard for me to also have input on this because I didn't start getting invited to events until MW 2019 multiplayer. So I haven't had a lot of skin in the game in regards to that. But from what I can tell, I think the vibe switched around MW 2019 time.
Yeah.
I think. But I can't say for sure.
I'll just say this. My first event was a World War II event. For DLC 1, and the only thing I'll say is like I don't know if I would say completely that there was like a paradigm shift exactly, maybe a little bit, but it was more that the events were a lot smaller scale, and they were a bit more like intimate private events where you were typically recording gameplay and you got to upload like 10 minutes of the footage when you got home or something, but it wasn't like there wasn't this giant COD Next thing where it's this massive
Yeah,
event and this whole
Right.
venue, and it was a lot more smaller scale. It was this little personal thing where it's gotten a lot bigger in recent years, and maybe that gets associated with it being like more corporatized or Activision pilled or whatever. So I don't know, maybe that's where the vibe feels a bit different. But
yeah.
all in all, I wouldn't say it's like, in terms of how they function and how they are, other than them being larger scale, they're really not that different than they were, at least when I started going. And there's people that have been going way longer than me even, so maybe they would have a different view on that. But I mean, yeah, they're just bigger now. That's, I think, the main difference.
Yeah.
Do you think it has anything to do with maybe game developers and companies are realizing how important content creation is in regards to like advertising and pushing their games? So therefore, they're putting more into those events.
Yep, certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because COD Next would not have happened 10 years ago, you know?
Right. I think
Okay.
that is like that is their primary method of, all right, we're gonna get people excited, and the way to do that is like to get everybody's favorite YouTuber involved who wants to play Call of Duty and get them talking about it. It's the easiest way to get it in front of people, I think.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
yeah, I think they figured out it's like they're the masters at getting people excited for a thing, whether people want to admit that or not. Call of Duty's marketing is unmatched, and
100%.
Yes, it is.
And you know what? It's a win-win for the company, and it's a win-win for creators because we get to go out, we get to learn things ahead of time, we get to play things early, it helps with our content. I
Yeah.
mean, like it's a match made in heaven. I'm thankful that we do have these events. So, yeah, I like where we're at.
Well, Butters, I thank you very much for coming on. This
Thank
might
you
be
for
one of our
having me.
longest podcasts. We're
I
almost
think
at
it might be
2
the
hours.
longest podcast. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think we have broke
No.
2 on one, but this is certainly, I think, might be like top 3 longest podcasts we've done on the channel. But that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Like Tyler was saying, we don't mean to keep you too long, but we really
No,
do
I'm here
appreciate your
for-
time.
I could stay longer. I could talk more COD.
Can-
I'm sure I have other COD opinions that I could make y'all mad with,
Well,
but
you-
we'll save it
We'll
for
just
another
have to have
day.
you back on
I was
sometime.
gonna say
Exactly.
when
We'll save it for another
BO7
day.
comes out, we need you to have you come back on and give us your thoughts on BO7 and everything.
Absolutely.
Done and done. We'll do it.
Can I one more quick question? Your entire YouTube channel can be transferred to one other thing. What would it be? It automatically works. 1 out of 10. No rough patch. You switch from COD to blank.
Honestly, nothing comes to mind because I can do whatever I want and I will still
You're
find a
making
way
what
to
you
get
wanna
1
make
out of
right
10.
now. Yeah.
I love that.
I love that too.
I would say Star Wars for me. If I were
Was
to
that, I was
put
gonna say,
my-
was that a
Sure.
self-report, Tyler?
that was
what
like
would
me,
that be
like if
for
I
you?
could go into the Star
said,
Wars
"Damn."
realm, probably, because that's a little too different.
Sure.
But I'm the same way. Like Call of Duty, that's why I pursued it in the beginning anyway. You know, because
Yeah.
I liked it. So
COD's great. I think something I'd love to do is more video documentaries. Like when I was out at Southeast Game Exchange, I picked up a couple copies of Medal of Honor because I want to learn about what happened to Medal of Honor and how the games went. So we'll see. Maybe that'll be my next big
did you
project.
play those?
No, I played the PSP one. I played PSP, and then I did a campaign with Oculus for the Medal of Honor game that they have on Quest or Oculus at the time.
They were so good. I'm gonna sound like
I'm
an old head here,
stoked.
but they were so good.
I
All
was
right,
so
Grandpa,
excited to
it's
play
time
them.
It's time to put you in the home. No, I'm just playing.
Wait, who's the oldest here? I think it's probably me, isn't it?
No, it's me. It's me.
Is it you?
Yeah, I'm 32.
Are you sure?
I'm 32.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
I could have sworn you're like 20 or 29.
I'll take 20.
No.
Yeah. No, Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor was like the first shooter that like I really paid attention to. Obviously GoldenEye, but that was like a one-off. And then it was Medal of Honor. It was like Frontline. It was
that one.
Dogs of War. That's not the title of it. That's the soundtrack title. European Assault is the
Man.
game. European Assault is the game.
Man.
Dogs of
He's
War
a
was the title
nerd.
track.
I was
He's
saying,
a
you called
nerd.
me a
He-
nerd earlier,
he
but you
pulled
just
up
said
the
that's the soundtrack
soundtrack.
title.
The title
was
track,
that?
man. Who doesn't listen to gaming soundtracks on their Spotify? If you don't,
Dude,
Oh, I definitely
you got
do.
something wrong with you.
Dude, Jesper Kide from, Borderlands and all of that. Got that playing in the background all the time.
Love that. That's
Uh,
so good.
Yeah, we need to do another one of these because I got more questions.
Yeah, let's
but
do it.
Yeah. But thank you very much for coming on. We said it like 7 times now at the end here, but I'm gonna think of another question. We're gonna go another 5 minutes. No,
Right.
this is it. I'm cutting the podcast off. We're done.
We're done.
But everybody that's watching, make sure you follow Butters on whatever social media, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I'll put them all in the description. Make sure you do all that good stuff.
Only if you want to. You don't have to, obviously. My cat says you should, but you know.
We actually force the guests to do it. If they don't do it, they get blocked. So
they have to.
yeah. I'm trying to think what else. If you can leave a 5-star and like the video, that would be great. I don't know our review count. I've kind of lost track, but we appreciate you doing that. Anything else, Butters, that you want to say, or your plug in, or do whatever you want to do?
No, just thank you guys for having me. I don't get to nerd out about like classic nostalgic COD very much, so this was very revitalizing and fun. So please have me back on.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely will.
Absolutely.
After BO7, yeah, that's gonna be a good time.
And I'll come back and I will play BO3 campaign, and we'll talk about it.
Please play the BO3 campaign. I would love to talk about that.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
All right, great.
All right, everybody.
Thank you again so much.
Thank you
all for watching as well. And episode 37, baby.
37, we think.
I'm pretty sure.
There's lost episodes. Go look for them.
All right, everybody.
It's out there somewhere.
Bye.
It's like Concord. Bye-bye.